got the best daddy.
Oh my
So
gosh,
big and strong.
I've never seen a daddy like this.
Like, perfect daddy.
Daddy,
Daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy.
Girls, get out of here. Come on, I got to clear the studio now. Sorry, that's why we were late. Got to get all these bitches out of here. Oh, man. You know, when UNLV is out for summer, these chicks don't know what to do with themselves. Thank you. Yes, Father Rolo Tomasi is in the house today. Yes, well. Woo. Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. Live from the Southern Command Center. This is the Irrational Male on Father's Day. We're on Fresh and Fit time today. Let's get these bitches out of this studio. Oh, God. You guys are in for a real good one today.
Time we talked about high effort dads versus low effort dads. And as someone who is married to a high effort father, but has also experienced and observed low effort dads, there is a clear difference. Your life looks very different if you're married to a high effort dad versus a low effort dad. Let me explain. Low effort dads aren't necessarily bad fathers, but they also do not live up to their full capability. A low effort dad will pull their weight, but needs to be prompted to do something. Honey, it's 2:55. We have to leave at 3. Can you please get the kids' shoes on? Notice that the mental load and invisible labor is still on you while the low effort dad is waiting to be prompted. Now,
That sounds like a bitch.
a high effort dad has developed self-awareness, rarely needs prompting. Did they once before? Probably. But the high effort dad has learned that being prompted means that you are not pulling your weight 100%. The high effort dad was told yesterday that we have to leave at 3. So before being prompted, the high effort dad at 2:30 will start getting shoes on, start getting the kids to the bathroom, start getting kids in car seats, while the high
So high effort dad is basically also a bitch.
effort spouse is putting on her makeup upstairs. The high effort dad
High effort dad is not doing any of that because he's too busy fucking busting his ass at his third job.
knows every morning routine, every evening routine, and can slot into any piece of that routine from start to finish, from B to C without instruction. Whereas the
Yeah, so essentially, you better know what the fuck you're doing, like what I need you to do before I need you to do
my
it.
mind.
Read my mind.
low effort dad has probably mastered a couple parts of the routine or has a preference, but the high effort dad, while it might not ever be done perfectly, knows everything that needs to be done for every routine. Now, I might just be biased for parenting styles, but from a discipline perspective, the low effort dad leans into scolding before anything else. Whereas the high effort dad will take time to explain why behavior was bad, knows that there is patience and repetition to instill the correct behavior in a child, pursues developing emotional intelligence and emotional regulation. The high effort dad knows that taking the time to discipline your child from an emotional and regulating perspective,
There you go.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
What?
Slap.
they know that it's the long game and it requires patience. Now, I don't attribute high and low effort with how many of the 24 hours a dad spends with their child, but a high effort dad operates with intention. If a
High effort dad does what I want him to do. Low effort dad does not do what I want him
doctor's
to do.
appointment was missed, the high effort dad checks in to see how that appointment went and downloads the information to their brain. Whereas the low effort dad might say, oh, my wife's got it. Nothing wrong with that, but there is a difference. A high effort dad recognizes when they cannot give their children what they need from mom and will
Does mom give high effort dad like blowjobs on demand?
Yeah,
Because I mean,
exactly.
I'm looking for the payoff here.
overcompensate in other areas. For example, the newborn phase, postpartum. The low effort dad might say, I am not valuable during this period of time. Baby needs mom 100%
And he's 100% correct.
of the time. Whereas a high effort dad would say, I can't breastfeed, but I can change every diaper. I can't soothe with the scent of my
So you don't want a dad, you want a nanny.
skin, but I can make sure that the house is clean and every meal is cooked. It is
See, this is why you should have more than one wife.
Yeah,
This is
makes
why you need
sense.
like I swear to
Takes
God.
a village to
I
raise a
have,
child.
I have actually had this conversation with my wife before. I said, you know what? We need another bitch. We need another wife in here. She's like, well, as long as she goes to the grocery store and does all the shopping, I check her out. I might consider it. Oh.
Sons or children I say sons just because, you know, we're raising them to be the men and they're going to be the leaders of their homes, daughters as well. But our children are
Love that. Yeah, it's mix and match. You just plug and play.
products of the product. And our children are either going to want to run so far away from.
See, that's the problem. This is a like. Here's the thing: is like big tough like power dad, power beard guys, power beard dudes like this. It's like they don't even know that they're like rambling off and parroting back and repeating the same like feminist rhetoric. It just sounds cooler coming from him because he just stopped splitting wood in some like flannel jacket to come and tell you basically, let me tell you, I'm just going to tell you what this feminist just said a minute ago, but I'm going to add a little bit of I don't know, rustic Americana to it.
Who we are because they don't like who we are, or they're going to want to be just like us. Think on that for a second, how powerful that is, how huge that is.
Dude.
Think on
Dude, we need a sound drop. Think about this.
About this.
our children, once they get old enough and become adults,
Yeah.
the wounds we left them
Look at the Muhammad Ali poster.
with are either going to make them run so far away from who we are, they want nothing to do with being that type of a person,
Maybe who you are is like, maybe they're right.
or they're going to want to be just like us because we've lived with integrity and character.
You're presuming you are living with integrity and character.
And might have a good point.
There's not a man on this earth that can tell me different. If Jesus descended from heaven right now and told women that their ways will lead them to loneliness and hell, they'll nail that nigga back to the cross and call him a narcissist.
This man is absolutely correct. That's exactly what would happen. You'll see women on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram talking about hashtag cancel Jesus. They still wouldn't listen. These women would take down the picture of Jesus hanging in their house and they'll put up a picture of Derek Jackson. These women are never going to change. We would need like a worldwide catastrophe for these women to listen. I'm talking about an alien attack or a zombie attack. And even then, there'll still be some women out there who don't want to listen to anybody because they don't want to do it. But shout out to the original creator in this video because this was hilarious.
No shit.
Say I'm your type.
Do you want to know my type?
I would like to
It's
hear
the
about
opposite
it.
of you.
You wouldn't sleep with me?
No.
What's one thing that's very important to you when you look for a partner?
Follow through, people that do what they say they're going to do.
Do you want to come do the podcast? Yes. Cool. Here's a date. This is following through.
Honesty.
I'm attracted to you. I would never date you seriously.
Oh my God. Why would you not date me seriously?
I think I need somebody who's a little bit more of a homebody.
What makes you think I'm not a homebody?
Am I wrong? Maybe I don't know you well enough.
I think
Dude, this guy, I've seen this guy. Okay, so this dude was, I forget this guy's name, but like, I just want to give you a little bit of background here really quickly. The reason I chose this is because I saw this dude on with Coral Osborne and he did the same thing with Coral. And Coral's like, she went from being like a cold and like to like 5 minutes later, she had fuck me eyes. Yeah, dead ass.
you are wrong.
Sexually, it's getting there. I definitely want to sleep with you. Could I commit to like falling in love with you? I got to know what you're into.
I'm a homebody. You're always out.
So you think that we could be compatible and I'm wrong about that?
Correct. Yeah.
You see what I did?
Oh, he reversed me. He Neil Straussed me, this guy. What the f going on
Welcome
here?
to We Should Date. I'm the host and I'm a professional.
Man.
Michael Bay.
Has begun to celebrate harmlessness as if it was peace. This is the great confusion of the modern age. Harmless men preach to capable men about how to live. How? What are you talking about? Men who've never been punched in the face, trying to tell men who've ended fights, trying to talk to us about restraint. What are you talking about? Men who have never been in command, they actually lecture men who carry command about humility. The source matters. The harmless cannot teach the capable about restraint because the harmless has never had anything to restrain. Be mindful of who you listen to, okay?
There it is. Mike Rashid. Mike Rashid. There you go.
A lot that people don't come near you with a barge pole. Why do you think that is?
I think I represent a set of political ideas that are very uncomfortable to acknowledge.
I said to one.
This was actually a pretty good. I watched this whole interview right here.
Yeah.
I had to suffer through British accents and like, God damn, man. It's like, are they all like sloppy drunk when they talk? With it sound like Ozzy when he's like really fucked up.
One friend else comment on this. He showed me a comment of yours.
Yeah, I cringe when I hear grown-ups talk about the patriarchy.
See, that's odd.
What's odd about it?
What does that mean?
I think the idea of us living in a patriarchy in the UK currently, I find to be quite a cartoonish idea.
That's right, you don't believe patriarchy exists?
I don't think that's the best way of viewing UK society. It literally names everything bad in the world after men.
I don't know why.
So this dude right here is a rapper of some sorts in the UK, and he was actually, I think he was actually the guest on this show. But he, like, I went and looked this guy up afterwards, and the guy is just like, he's just so steeped in like this wheesh feminist, you know, I mean, God, like dude's like, he's essentially like parrots back like lines from like Gloria Steinem and Betty Friedan. He doesn't even know he's doing it, which is like, this is why I paid attention to this, is because these guys don't even know where they get this rhetoric from.
A man will feel vilified by that.
That's what the word patri means. It means father ruler. And I don't know how a man can be the ruler of the family who doesn't even have equal rights.
Why are you willing to risk somebody paying attention to the good work you do over a word that you actually understand fundamentally?
Because I think that patriarchy theory lowers the resolution of all these different separate issues, and it paints sexism in such a unilateral way.
That's the difference perhaps between our perception. The current setup of system is of benefit to nobody. Who wins this game? Those people win this game. I don't like the game.
See, people talk about patriarchy.
So here's, again, this is why, this is a dude, remember? And of course was referring to like, oh, the men, it's only men at the top. Like if you look at like Elon Musk and was it Jeff Bezos and all the, you know, it's all men that are super top. It's like, no, dude, that's apex fallacy is what that is, which has been debunked for at least 20 years now. But this guy is young guy. He's basically, to me, he's a kid, right? Like, is like parroting back all this feminist bullshit rhetoric. Well, you look at the Congress and you look at the richest men in the world and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's apex fallacy. That's like the guys at the top are who you think represent all the men at the bottom. And it's bullshit. And it's been a feminist sort of talking point since really the late 60s. And here's this guy in 2026 who can't be more than 25 years old, still parroting back the same bullshit.
And they'll often talk about Mark Zuckerberg as you have, but they are such a small percentage of men. I like to view gender equality through things like education, health, life expectancy. By every single metric, men and boys are behind. Those are such more accurate barometers for equality than some billionaire arsehole who you both hate. Patriarchy is obsessed with the apex of men. What I'm in favour of is specific conversations about specific things rather than trying to explain everything with one catchphrase.
Then you actually...
Wow, so no blanket statements.
Yes. Yeah, you actually would have... I kind of like this Tin Man guy. I've been like following him for a little bit. Also, what's that guy? Who's the Christian dude? It's something sort of the P. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm thinking about maybe like trying to do a collab with him at some point.
Nothing is more mortifying than the fact that I just went to the grocery store and I walked by like two cute guys, and both of them I tried to do the thing where I like look them dead in the eyes and I'm like looking them up and down. And
two cute guys, really walking together.
Yeah.
You tried to do thing, huh? And they didn't pay any attention to you.
Let's connect the dots.
Was it in Fremont?
and smiling, like, I don't know. And both
Did they ask you if you had a dick?
of them, like, looked like they just saw a freaking ghost and, like, walked even faster. Like, this is why I'm involuntarily celibate.
Yeah, you are. There's your femcel, guys. Yes. God, can you imagine you like an incel and you see this shit, this hot bitch? I mean, she's all right looking, right? But maybe she's like a 5.5 or 6, right? Like you see some chick like that who's complaining about being a femcel. No, you are not involuntarily celibate.
Demands your phone password on date 3, but won't follow you on Instagram.
Okay.
MTR, where did this come from? Please tell me where this came from.
How familiar are you with Instagram?
Oh, I read it. I look at it all the time.
Okay. You know what? Let's cut the last half of that sentence off. Let's go to the beginning. The beginning is really the issue there.
Right. About the password.
Yes. Why is she asking for your password?
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
That's
I'm not
the
too
AI.
sure I know my wife's password. And we've been married 40 years.
You know why, Maury? Because you trust her.
Yeah. Oh, so you think that's the deal about the password?
They want the passwords because they don't trust you. But I think asking for the passwords in general, if it's not a work purpose, like you're helping him meet where he needs to be, asking for a password is sacrilegious where I'm from. That means that there's inherent mistrust. Like you just don't trust that person, right? But if you want to ask on a third date, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a red flag.
How, man? How do I get to do this? I'm not figuring out. Like, I want to sit in the green room and do this. All right. If you guys ever needed an example of what a gamma male is, this is the gamma male.
I believe that I am one of those good men. I work extremely hard. I made roughly 6 figures in salary last year. I'm above average height. I work out regularly. I'm in great shape. I take excellent care of myself. I eat healthy. I cook. I clean. I do chores. I communicate exceptionally well with everybody in my life, clients, friends, family members, significant others. I treat other people with respect. I'm empathetic. I'm a great listener. I feel like I have a lot of qualities that would be excellent in a partner.
Yeah, excellent in a wife. I'm hanging on to that one because I want to come back to him again. Here we go.
Hobbies for single men. F tier, video games. Sorry, but your future wife just isn't playing Call of Duty. Netflix, Kick, and sports gambling are F tier too.
Sorry, Kyle.
Oh,
You're
no.
doomed. You will not get married. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Video games, League of Legends, out.
Shit.
What about GTA 6?
Yeah, exactly.
A tier, golf. Let's be honest, golf is a better hobby for married men than single men. C tier.
Oh, wait a minute now. It's been my experience that golf is a rich man's sport. Usually a rich man's sport. I can tell you from personal experience, the reason I got good at golf was so that I could go and talk to all the Jews on the golf course when I worked in wine and spirits. So, because I've discovered that that's where all the business deals were made. So, yeah. So
Jewish
you could just
investors, you say?
You could, exactly. Yes. So you can go wipe your ass with that golf shit. I'll tell you that right now.
Tier, run clubs. You will 100% meet women at run clubs. Plus, you could probably use more cardio, but you'll also be competing with a bunch of dudes with abs who've heard on TikTok that run clubs are great places to meet women.
Okay, let me explain something to you. If you're a dude, if you are in the small percentage of dudes whose body fat percentage is like to see visible abs, I believe it's like 10%, right?
Depends on how built up your abs.
Yeah, but we're talking a pretty low
10%.
All right. If you're one of the small percentage of men, we got to look this up on Perplexity. Like, what is the percentage of men who have the body fat percentage in the United States to have visible abs? Like, I would love to know what that percentage is, because they got to be at least in somewhat good shape. They got to look good, whatever. What is the percentage of those?
1 to 8%.
8%. So 1 to 8%. Let's just round that off. 4%.
Because that does make sense. You fluctuate, right?
God damn, only 4% have visible abs. Holy fuck.
And slight definition, 14, 15, moderate definition, 10 to 12, high, 10 below.
Yeah, that's why I only have a 4-pack right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not built that way though, because I have like it goes like my lower obliques or my lower abdominals, and then but the
fuck me lines kick in.
The fuck me lines kick in. So let me explain something to you. Let's see, 4% of guys who have actually visible abs and everything, they don't need to go to run clubs. They're too busy fucking bitches is what they're doing.
Tier, racket sports. Tennis, pickleball, paddle, all attract.
Okay, pickleball, if you are 70, then maybe.
Attractive women.
I shouldn't say that. I see a lot of young guys doing pickleball. Yeah. You know who plays pickleball?
Who?
Puma Swede told me she played with them big ass titties. How does she play pickleball?
You get a sweat in, and extra plus, racket sports are good for cognition and longevity.
Where'd you get those stats?
So is video games.
ARP.
A tier, volunteering. Animal shelters, charity events, and food kitchens all attract kind, social women. Plus, you're doing something good for the world.
How many guys do you know that when you say, hey, Kyle, what hobbies do you have? at the top, at the top of your head,
charities,
volunteering. Volunteering is volunteering. Well, by the way, there's a qualifiable difference between doing charity events such as Babes in Toyland. You know what? I could say that I am actually one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
It's volunteering. I volunteer. I do. I volunteer my time every other month at every the Babes in Toyland event. In fact, by the way, August 6th, during swim week here, the hottest time of the year here in Las Vegas, my Reignite group will be doing our Vegas meetup. It'll be the 5th through the 7th, and we're all going to go participate in our favorite hobby, which is going to Babes in Toyland.
S tier, social dance. Swing, two-step salsa, does not matter. The ratios at dance classes work in your favor, and all women love a guy who can move his hips.
Okay, so let's see. Social dance. I don't know if I could say volunteering, but social dance, racket club, racket sports. Run clubs, golf technically qualifies as those are physical. All of those are physical things, right? Unfortunately, Warhammer 40,000 does not rate on it. It's probably like F tier according to this bitch. That's not a hobby, my dear. What gets me is I think one of the reasons. Okay, right out the gate. Right, hello, this is the Rational Male. I'm Rollo Tomasi. Thank you for joining us today on this Father's Day edition of the Rational Male. Now, let's get started. You ever notice that, like, when women talk about men's hobbies, they have no clue what the fuck men's hobbies are because they don't care to know. They don't care. Your hobbies mean fuck all to women, unless it's basketball. Unless it's like you're doing pickup games with your friends after work, right? Unless it's man, I can't even I lift at power. I did this week. I went 5 days in a row this week.
Ooh, there you go.
That is not a hobby. That's a way of life. That is a way of life. Okay. A hobby to me is sitting there, like taking an hour to 90 minutes just so I can paint models and just kind of like put everything to the peripheral and build an army so I can finally play at the LVO in September. That's a hobby to me. Well, he plays a musical instrument. Well, that's not a hobby to me. That's like a semi-professional passion of mine that I've had that's an art form. Okay. What's a hobby? What qualifies as a hobby? Video games? I can't even really say, is video games even a hobby?
I mean, I guess I could say it depends on what level, right? Because I'm kind of a casual gamer. I don't really play that hard like I used to, but I mean, I pick it up here and there.
But like, I'm going to tell you this right now. Mike and I was on Mike Sartain's show on Friday for just about like half an hour. And one of the topics was GTA 6. And the release date, by the way, is November 19th. Of this year, so that's what who produces GTA?
Rockstar.
I thought it was Bethesda. No, okay, Rockstar. So that will be out on the 19th, and there are already companies that say they're going to give their employees a week off because they know they're all going to call in sick or take PTO during that time because everybody will be so locked into GTA. And I mean. I'm okay with GTA. I'll play, right? Mm-hmm. But like, it's not Space Marine 2. But yeah, so but like that's what kills me. So I wanted to just point this out because of this. I ended the clips with this video because what is like late? I'm curious. I'm dead ass curious. So like, if we're gonna make a clip of this. Start the clip here, ladies. What is a hobby? Like, what hobbies do women have? Like, what hobbies do they have? Like, I know gamer girls. Like, if I go down if I go to Little Shop of Magic, or I go down to the War Room, the game place here in Las Vegas, there'll be a few girls down there. They're gamer girls, right? That's a hobby. Maybe their boyfriend was into it. Some of the best miniature painters that I know are actually female. They're very, very good at it, right? That's one of the people get really weirded out when I say this, but it's like, I think one of the things that both men and women share sort of an equal capacity for a talent is in art and in music and artistic expression. And I think like I've seen some very good model painters and very good artists that are female and male as well. Right now they do it in different ways, but I think artistic talent is artistic talent. Right. But the thing is that, what is like generally to women? Like I should go on my Instagram and like I don't know if you can do a poll. Can you do a poll on Instagram? And poll all the chicks on like Access Vegas and say, just name one hobby you have. And like travel, getting flued out to Biscayne Bay. Like travel is not a fucking hobby. Okay, it's not. I got some free time. What am I going to do? Fly to Ibiza?
Wow.
What is it? What does it say?
So there's creative hobbies, active hobbies, intellectual hobbies, social collecting hobbies. Okay. Volunteering could be
I am a collector. I will say that. I guess like if you collected cards, like Pokemon cards and stuff like a Magic the Gathering or
I
something
guess people
like that.
would say that.
Well, that's a game too, but like, I
no
mean,
one plays Pokemon.
But the collector, really, yeah. Icy from Fresh and Fit, who is no longer a part of Fresh and Fit, but like I talked to her quite a bit. She is, I don't know if she owns it, but she is managing a sports card place in Miami, and they specialize a lot in Pokemon, and she loves Pokemon. She collects Pokemon cards. I had no idea you did that. It makes you that much cooler. When you finally find a chick who actually has a hobby, like, oh baby,
knitting.
It helps that she probably because she has a son too, so that might be it. Knitting is knitting. I guess it could be.
Depends.
I guess it could be. Like if you're not like in industrial like textiles or something like that, I guess it's a hobby. But yeah, I wonder because it seems to me like. And the reason I'm bringing this up, by the way, is because I had this discussion with some of the guys in my Reignite group. And every once in a while, I'll get one guy who will go, hey, do you think I should take up salsa dancing? Because like Aaron Clary used to teach salsa dancing, right? I'm like, well, do you actually have any interest in salsa? No, but there's hot chicks there. I want to do it. I had even Joe, my partner, my business partner, my heterosexual business partner, Joe Marron, went line dancing at Stoney's on Friday, and they have I guess like around 7:00, they have like they teach you how to do the boot scoot boogie or whatever the fuck it is, right? And so he sent me a video of like the chicks doing this thing, and some guys are out there, and there's a lot of, it's like nothing but girls too, man. I was like, God damn. And they're all in like Daisy Dukes and boots. And I was like, where do I meet girls? Apparently Stoney's at 7:00, man. You know what else? What were we doing? I think I told you this, like we're trying to figure out, on my Reignite group, we have an area on the forum, on the school forum, where we try to list places to meet women, like by experience, but it cannot be a club. It can't be like Zook or whatever, like because that's obvious, right? So we definitely need to add Stoney's to that. Target. Did you know Target, the store Target, for whatever reason, and I don't know if this is an like an East Coast thing. But like I've had like multiple guys tell me that they've gone to Target, and then there's like girls are there and they're like open to being like chatted up at a Target store. I don't know if that's
it kind of makes sense.
thing.
I mean,
yeah. Nobody's drunk, so I hope not. Midday drinking at Target. But yeah, so we're like trying to come up with ideas. Like, by the way, chat, if you have an idea where you think would be a good place to like meet women, and it can't be a club. Okay. It could be like a restaurant or something. I guess that'd be all right. But like, it can't be a club. It can't be a nightclub. But if you can think of like a place to meet, I was always thinking, I mean, Barnes and Noble. Don't say Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble is not a place to meet chicks. Art installments. Like if you go to the MoMA, wherever you're at, like LA MoMA or something like that, that's usually a good place. If they have like a reception or something like that, I guess it would be cool. Now, Mike, of course, is going to say go to a charity event like Babes in Toyland or Tiesto or something like that. But yeah, those would be obvious. But yeah, so anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is because when we talk about like this, I'm going to watch how slick I am. So we're talking about hobbies and everything. One of the guys was like, we occasionally get a phone call about this, or I'll get somebody in the group will say like, well, I want to get into a run club, right? Or I want to do salsa dancing, or I want to do line dancing or something like that. I'm like, why? Do you like actually have some sort of interest in it? No, but they want to pick it up because they think I'm like, so would you pick up bowling? If where do we draw? Like, would it be pro beach volleyball? Like, whoa, where do you draw the line there? And it's kind of EDC Vegas. Come on, man. That's kind of like a week-long club is what that is. I guess Hellfest. You might as well put Hellfest on there too. That's where I would go. Have you seen some of the videos from Hellfest coming in?
I have not.
Oh my God. What is it? Is it the band Malice? I think they're a thrash band. Malice, I think. I just saw them on holy shit. They had a pit that you could see from space. I mean, it was like this vortex. So when they say white people don't have culture,
stop playing Limp Bizkit.
Yes. Yes, I will show you white people. You want to go to Hellfest? I will show you white people culture. Or we can go mudding. We can go mudding. That's white people culture. Imagine me taking fresh mudding. Burning Man. Burning Man that's a gimme. Yeah. Like you're stoned the whole time there. Trust me, I lived in Reno I lived in Reno, Nevada from 2001 until 2005. Then I moved to Orlando, and then I came back to Reno 2013 until I moved to Vegas, which was 2 years ago, right? Mm. Let me tell you a thing or two about Burning Man. I saw Burning Man go from this really cool kind of art festival in the Black Rock Desert, which was, I used to think, I've been twice, right? I thought it was really cool, but once you're there, and you're kind of like, okay, everybody's here just to get fucked up, right? Yeah. I went there because I was an art major in UNR, right? So I'm checking this out because a lot of the art, they did the installments, right? So we would go out there and just, poke around and everything because the art classes this was back when it was cool and you could do this without having to pay like, $700 per car. Right. Which is, it's actually more like $3,600 per car now. But that's before surgeons and lawyers and celebrities and rappers and everybody else found out how cool it was. And then suddenly got turned into this, commercialized clusterfuck. And as you guys know, my wife used to work in medical. Let's just say she used to work in a medical capacity. And when Burning Man was in Reno, that was hell week because everybody was ODing, everybody was breaking their heads, there was so many injuries that would come out of there, and you could tell because they always have the playa like clay all over them,
literally covered.
Yes, you want dirty hippies.
They go mud in there.
They go mud in there. It's funny because when it rains, they literally do go mudding there. They're trying to land like helicopters and stuff on the playa and everything. It just got so out of hand. It used to be cool, and you guys fucked it up. White people, we fucked it up. God damn it, what's wrong with us? But Burning Man is a gimme. Mm-hmm. If you're going to Burning Man, you're getting laid. Okay, if you can't get laid at Burning Man, you can't get laid. You're done. Just like go join a monastery or something. Yeah, anime stuff. Like Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's very niche. It just very depends. At the end of the day, it's very looks.
Car shows, right? Yeah. You can certainly meet chicks there at a car show. Yeah. Yeah. Conventions. Yeah, I think it just kind of depends on what is it? The Consumer Electronics Show, CES here. With all the booth girls everywhere. Yeah, I guess you could. Let's see. Oh wait. This is actually. Let's hold on to this. Hang on to this one for a second. I'm going to star this real fast. Let me give you the setup here. Me and Kyle have been talking about doing a call-in show. I guess midweek. Maybe we should just start doing it midweek. Okay. And I know Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure because I don't have to. I'm not doing Access Vegas until the last week of July now because Mike's got so much shit going on. And and by the way, my 30th wedding anniversary is on July 20th, and I will be gone from the 20th until the 29th because I'm going to Catalina Island, which is where I honeymooned actually way back in the day. And it's actually one of my favorite places on planet Earth. I've been going a Catalina since I was 8 years old because I used to live in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be gone that week. But yeah, we won't be doing Access Vegas for a while. So that means we have an opportunity to go and do a call-in show, I think, and maybe we'll do it for like 90 minutes.
Okay.
I don't want to go over 2 hours, but apparently that's the new hotness, and Rumble will allow us to do a call-in thing finally, and you don't have to do link. This is Blog Talk Radio. Please stand by. We still have, I remember that because that's the only app that's ever been able to, to be usable to actually do a call-in thing. So anyway, I'll bet it'll be a 3-hour job. Fuck you. Just that you're getting only 90 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna be anal about this.
But I think a lot of people want to call in and they want to ask questions and stuff like that. And I think that might be kind of fun to do, right? And not a lot of people are doing that. Too many people are doing reaction videos. And I hate to say Mike is doing reactions mainly. But I want to start doing some call-ins. I want to be the next Dave Ramsey. Of the red pill. Hi guys. Let me tell you about how Jesus wants you to save more money. What is this? This is good. The Island of Romance. Is that what we should call the show? You know what? Give us a title for the show. Maybe we'll use it. Anyways, so sorry, I got sidetracked here. But like these guys wanted to pick up a hobby because just for the sake of like meeting chicks. Now, I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with that. But once you've met the chicks, then you have to reassess, am I really into pickleball? Do I really like, I don't know, needlework? Whatever it is that got you out to do that one thing, right?
Well, you think about it, like you start off lifting to get chicks.
Oh, yeah.
And then it becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you're still doing it to get chicks. Exactly. But it is a way of life. Yeah. Then you realize this is a way of life. And I get hot chicks for it too. Okay. Yes.
I'm winning.
Yes. That's a crisis of motive, right? Why do you do what you do? I want to get laid. Oh, awesome. And then you keep doing it and you go, you know what? I kind of like this. I actually have I love the process. I'm addicted to the process. I'm in love with the process, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to start off with today, because this is going to define the whole fatherhood theme for today's show. But I was listening to these guys talking about how they wanted to like pick up these hobbies and everything. But are you like really into the hobby? Right. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of this conversation I had. What was the guy that I just told you to look up? The guy, the religious dude, is something Prada. What the fuck is that guy's name? The religious dude. Why I don't even know the dude's name. I only know the name of his channel. It's somebody will give it to me. Come on, chat. I know you're gonna give it to me. Who's that religious guy that's really hot right now on YouTube?
I know what you're talking about too. I just can't remember his name.
I know it's Prada or what is it? I'm looking at. I gotta look through my stuff. Oh wait, I have it in my history. Sorry, Effective Purpose. That starts with E. Effective Purpose. That guy from Effective Purpose, dude. What the fuck is your name? You're really pushing the broccoli haircut too, by the way. I'm like, you might want to dial it back just a little bit. But no, I was listening to. I sometimes I kind of chime in. I've been doing. I don't do super chats, but I'll chat in on his show when he has a live. When he does a live, and one of the topics he was talking about was, I think it was Andrew Wilson, and how Andrew Wilson was like always talking about like how Orthodox Christianity has the lowest divorce rate and the highest rate of marriage, or sustained one. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I looked up which religion has that, and of course on Perplexity, and Perplexity says that actually Hinduism has the highest marriage to divorce, or like the divorce rate is like 5%, and I think the marriage rate is somewhere around 65 or 70% for him. Probably because they have arranged marriages. Obviously, I know, but if we're going to say, well, we're going to let a religion be the arbiter of marriage, and we got to find the one with the best track record, well, I'm sorry, it's not Orthodox Christianity. It's actually Hinduism. So we now defer to, I don't know, Alibaba. So yeah. But no, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, why is that even a big deal? Like, why? Like, I know a lot of people will say, like, well, Rollo, you need to convert to Islam. I'm like, why? Why do you think that? They go, well, because we're the most red pill religion. I'm like, How so? Well, we can have, like, I talked to, this is when I was writing the religion book. And my Ask a Muslim, Craig from Abu American, he's the one who gave me, I have a Quran actually. He's the one that gave it to me. And he's like, yeah, we can have 4 wives. I'm like, fuck yeah, all at the same time? No, you can have one at a time. You get after it one at a time. Like, fuck, man, what the hell? But one wife, God, I only know how to marry him. I don't know how to live with him. Nobody knows how to live with him. But the thing is like, I thought about that for a minute, and it's very similar to like what Andrew was saying, is that like, you should convert to this religion because we have the best track record for marriage. Or like for Islam, Rolo, you should convert to Islam because we have the most, we're still the last patriarchal masculine holdout, and we're the most red pill. So it would seem obvious that you would like be part of the tribe or something like that. And I'm like, I thought about this recently, and I was chatting into Effective Purpose, and I said, I don't think that my religious beliefs depend on who has the best like deal for masculinity, right? I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand that, but my faith in a being who is the creator of the whole universe is not contingent on who's more favorable to people with penises versus vaginas. I don't see that as like a reason to convert to a particular. Now, if there are many other reasons, I mean, if you have a faith or something like that, I'm certainly like, if you read my 4th book, you'll understand. I don't want to shit on anybody's faith, but I don't think that that's a reason. But that's what I started thinking about that, and I go, but that's really kind of what the mindset. I'm not going to say Andrew in particular, but like that mindset is like, well, you should. Like Brad Wilcox, for example, I say, well, married people are more happy than single people, right? Yeah. Married people get fucked more than, which is bullshit. Married men make more money, and married men live longer, and they have less cancer, and got a whole lot of other shit that goes on too. But they're just basically like, the stats are very incidental, right? And they're kind of like they're it's what's called harking. Okay, it's like hypothesizing after the results are known. Yeah. Okay, so you have the results and you go, well, obviously that means that our religion is the perfect religion. You should convert to our religion, because if you want to have a good solid marriage, then you need to be Orthodox, you need to be Catholic, you need to be Mormon, you need to be Muslim, or whatever else it is, right? And to me, that's not a reason to do that. But marriage rates aren't going to determine my belief in like this omniscient God of the universe. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying I'm deeper than you. I'm just like, that's where my mind goes, right? But so I started thinking about this, and then I compared that to like, well, why would you get into a hobby if you just like, well, I want to get laid? Well, okay, but is that a reason to get into the hobby, right? Just in the same sense, is it a reason to convert to a religion? Because like, it's essentially what you're doing. Yeah. Your religion becomes a hobby. Well, why? Well, because I want to have a good marriage. I want to have kids, and I want to have a good. But do you really believe in, I don't know, whatever the Sikhs believe in? or do you believe in the goddess Kali or something like that? Because was it Hindus? Yeah, Hindus have the lowest divorce rate. Right? And so what happens is then that religion becomes a hobby that you got into because you thought you were going to, get laid, and then you were going to have a good life, because that was just a means to an end, rather than I really believe this, or I really am into this hobby, right? Or I really am into this thing. And so again, it's that crisis of motive. Are you doing it because you really are into it, or are you doing it just because you want to get your dick wet, or are you doing it because you want to get your dick wet and you want to get married to the thing that gets your dick wet, right? And have kids and make sure that you hold on to that. And I'm like, so the means becomes the ends. And then what happens is when, like, just say for, it's like, I did this example. I said, if if I am a Satanist I belong to the United Church of Satan. There's your clip for you right there.
Okay.
Anton LaVey. I am
Alistair Crowley.
Yes, yeah. If I'm from the United Church of Satan, and I tell you that we have the lowest divorce rate. Go ahead.
This is the Dark Lord of the Pit. I just wanted to let you know that we have the lowest divorce rate of any religion on planet Earth. So I have this contract right here. I think you should sign on the line and join us. And you will have a wonderful marriage as a result of it. Are you going to convert?
Are you going to convert to the United Church of Satan because we have the best divorce?
Our track record
0% divorce, 100% marriage rate. But you have to.
I wonder what compromises are in that.
You've got to burn those red candles and go to Ken. You've got to believe in Baphomet. Yes. Are you going to convert? Chat or put a 1 in the chat if you want to convert because we have a 100% marriage rate. Probably not. Why? Because it's the devil. Okay, it's easy to see, and you put it in that illustration, right? So
no. It's like how hot the Satan chicks.
Sold. Sign me up. I ain't getting no pussy on this earth.
Shit, they've been in hell here.
Oh my God. I gotta do that Robert De Niro, Angel Heart. Hi, I'm Louis Cypher. Your name is a dime store joke. God, that was a good movie too. Lisa Bonet. The only thing she did besides the Cosby Show. Show my tits. All right, let's go. Yeah, that's right. They always get naked. Yeah. No, like, would you do it? Probably not. All right. I hope not. But it's just to prove a point.
I mean, would that go back to you can't negotiate for genuine desire? Because it'd be fall into that category.
Yeah,
right?
it would. Because do you want to or do you not want to? So, like, for instance, you could go the other way too. Like, what if you're like a dork like me and you've been playing Warhammer 40K since 1989, 1990.
Okay.
And now you're in your late 50s and you're still doing it. But somewhere along the way, you meet some hot piece of ass, and she goes, I really don't like that you play this game. I'm going to take all your shit and throw it away for you. Would you give up that hobby for the chick? I know dozens of dudes who have done exactly that, right? So how dedicated are you to like what you're interested in, like what you really have a passion for?
I like anime. My girl doesn't like anime. I don't give a fuck.
You're not giving it up.
Why the fuck do I care?
Mm-hmm. Dude, okay. You want a story? Okay, roll a story time. Here you go. All right, so you guys already know that I play Warhammer 40K. There's no fucking way I'm stopping playing that. I can tell you that right now. I have a full dedicated game. I haven't played in ages, but I have a dedicated every house I've had for the last like 5 houses. I've had a dedicated game room, not just for 40K, but like I have a pool table and I got like some of those old video games and stuff in there because I'm a dork. So that ain't never going away. My wife kind of likes that. She likes the schmaltzy kind of games and stuff like that. My wife doesn't like tactical games. She likes games of like chance, like luck, like cards and Uno. She loved to play Uno, right? Because there's very little strategy involved. It's just like it's just fun, you know. But for me, like I never really got into first person shooters all that much because of my eyes and stuff like that. But even if I could. I've always been into like chess, like tactical games. Like I always like to play like StarCraft was a big deal. The old StarCraft when it first came out, I thought that was cool. Like the build and battle kind of things. I like Total War. When that first came out, there's all kinds of skins and mods for it now. But like when Total War came out, it was I love that game. That's why when I look at like the only game that I've gotten into that's been a shooter has been Space Marine 2, which
it's still
it's exceptional. Yeah. Yes. But that's why when people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna spend 2 months playing GTA, I'm like, okay. I'd rather play like Napoleonics or something like that. But I mean, that's a game to me. It's like, tactics and stuff like that. But I used to, when I was younger, as you know, I also have a degree in fine art. I have a bachelor's of fine arts, right? Because I've always drawn, I've always written, I've always I've painted. You come to my house, you've seen the paintings. I have, those are my paintings. People are like, wow, I want to see those paintings. Yeah, you can if you'd like, but I usually try to keep that separate from the red pill stuff, right? Because I don't want to get people too distracted. But if you see me at band practice, at rehearsal, that's as close as you're going to get unless you want to come see me play live at Taverna in July. But as far as having creative passions and stuff like that, well, let's just say that when I was 13 until 33. Now let me stop lying. Yeah, until I was about 30. I collect comic books. I had a huge library backlog of comic books, and they were all in the pull things, and they're all wrapped and everything. Some of them worth something, a lot of them not, but they're important. They're only important to me. And I got rid of a lot of them when I got married because I thought I had to. Right? Like, oh, well, you got to go put away childish things. You're a man now, kind of thing, right? And sometimes I fall away from a hobby. Like I hadn't played 40K for a long time, and then I kind of came back to it again. Some stuff I fall away from, then I come back to it again. Music I've always stayed with. Writing, obviously, I've always stayed with. I draw quite a bit. People don't know. That's why people that see me with an iPad, they go, what a boomer, he's got an iPad. Yeah, but I also have the Apple Pencil, and you don't understand that I have this. I use this as a tablet, a real tablet. But I used to think that I had to give up certain things, right? When I used to do martial arts quite a bit. I used to do Taekwondo was my thing. Then I got into Kali later on when I was like in my 30s, right? But when I was in my 20s, I did that. I used to do when I was in college, I was a competitive fencer. I was a B-class fencer. And I didn't have the patience to do foil, but I was very good at epee, and I was exceptionally fucking good at saber. So because that was aggressive, and I liked being able to just bum rush people. But there's a lot of finesse. People think it's just it's not. There's a lot more to it than that.
Got a notepad?
Yes, but it was great, man. I got some great. I still to this day have some nice welts from that. But I also used to go to Ren fairs quite a bit. Okay. People don't know that I actually had a Ren fair style wedding. People don't know that. Yeah, they don't. I used to belong to the SCA, which is the Society for Creative Anachronisms. I was a rapier combat fighter. I was not a heavy. I didn't put on the armor or anything like that. In fact, those guys used to hate us because they didn't think it was period, and they were right. It wasn't period accurate. So we used to do that kind of another place to meet chicks. Ren fairs. Fuck yeah. Even here in Vegas Ren fair. You want to get laid? You go to the Ren. It's not even the Ren fair. It's like this fantasy furry cosplay fair, but I have some very expensive period accurate costumes for my previous life of being in the Ren fairs and stuff like that. I got into that because I used to do Shakespearean theater too, right? So I've never done, well, other than Kevin Savo's Captain Savo, I've never done any kind of commercial acting or anything like that, but I have done quite a bit of stage acting. So, and most of that was Shakespearean because I love Shakespeare. So I actually, got another fun fact. It's Father's Day, so you get all this cool shit about Rollo today. I actually played the lead role for Macbeth. I was Macbeth in Macbeth, and it was it was when my daughter was born. It was 1998. And dude, oh God, you want a story? I'll give you a story. So this version of Macbeth was it wasn't like Elizabethan kind of stuff. They did a different theme, which was more like a warrior kind of Viking kind of theme for it. So I actually had to learn how to fight with broadsword because there's a lot of duels in the choreography. So I had to learn. That was the thing. It's me and Macduff, the guy who was the protagonist or the antagonist. We had to choreograph our own fight, and we had to choreograph a 10-minute, about 5 minute, 5 to 6 minute fight, right? And the second time we did that live when we were doing the thing. I actually clipped him right here with it. And this is like spring steel. It's like automotive grade steel that we actually made the swords ourselves, right? And and I thought I'd taken his eye out, but I did. I just grazed him because he's just like just a little bit too close. And after we were done with the play, I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry. He goes, no, don't apologize. He said, this is the coolest thing I'll ever have. I got a sword on him on the cheek. But the best part of it was, here I am. How old was I? I would have been 30. I would have been about almost 30, 29, 30 years old, right?
Yeah.
I've been married for 2 years. Yeah, 96. So yeah, about 2 years, but 2.5 years at that point. And my wife is pregnant with my daughter at that time. And so I'm doing this. Dude, the girl that played Lady Macbeth, she was like just this smoke show. She was like 20, 21 years old. Tits out to here. Because they wanted her to be this busty kind of thing. And so there's, if you ever watched if you're familiar with the play, there's a part where like he has to like sort of ravage her and like, just basically mac on her and stuff like that. I tell you, my wife never, she was like very like, like this.
The passive dread kicking.
And I will tell you, for a pregnant woman, like, I don't know if you guys have ever had sex with a pregnant woman, but boy, man, it was fucking great. Oh man. But yeah, that was, she still talks about that to this day too. She's like, remember when I didn't fuck her. I just had to do the acting. But yeah, that was great. You guys ever want to know, like, well, how does Ro get to do all this? Doesn't they know he's married? Like if I'm doing Access Vegas, or if I'm doing like, promos for a liquor, event or something like that, like that was 2 years into our marriage, right? So that's where it all started, by the way, was with Macbeth, right? But anyways, I digress. The thing is like I used to love to do that stuff, and I haven't really had. Well, I wanted to go to the Renaissance Fair here last year, but it got rained out. It got like we had monsoons during the last one, so I'll probably go to this one. It's usually in October, but it's like a once a year thing for me. It's just something I can do if I can do it, but whatever. But it's just fun. It's just something I dig on doing, and I hate like giving up stuff. But like I'm into it, right? There's certain things that I'm into that I'm always going to be into just because I take an interest in it. And I think it's really kind of tragic. This is one thing I would tell if I had a son. I don't have a son, but if I had a son, this is one of the things I would tell him. I say, look, don't give up shit that you are really passionate about, that you really like, that you're really like, you enjoy the process. And you've heard me talk about, and here's where we're going with this today. I'm going to read you a list. I have a it's a classic list. I actually have an essay. It's called Lessons for My Son. I don't have a son. I have one daughter and I have 1,000 sons. Right? Yes, that's a 40K reference. But the thing is I get this constantly. People will say, Rollo, I have a son. When should I have him read your book? I don't know. Does he read? Like, what kid reads, right? Because they're so passionate about they want to evangelize for the book so much. And then they have like, I've had guys who've had like 2 and 3 sons, and they go, I don't know when I should give them your book, because they didn't want their sons to go through the shit that they had gone through, the divorce or whatever it is, or giving up stuff, or giving up the things that they really love and they're very passionate about, because they thought it would make the bitch happy, right? Yeah. Because they thought, and not even because she asked, but because they thought it was expected of them to do. And that's the real try. It's one thing like if a bitch is like, you need to give up your Pokemon cards, right? Or you need to give up your comic books. I don't want to be with a guy who's like, collects comics. I'll tell you, it's funny. Bitches will say that in 1997, 1998. And then the Avengers movie comes out and they go, who is that guy? And you go, that's Quicksilver.
How do you know?
How do you know all this? You remember those comic books you told me to throw away 10 years ago? Yeah, that's how I fucking know all of this, right? But yeah, that's a tragedy, dude. That's a real tragedy. And it's one of the you guys have heard me say this before. And I'm kind of averse to giving quote unquote advice or prescriptions, but I will give you some suggestions. Okay. And this is kind of goes back to the lessons for my son shtick here too, is there's certain things that I think are me personally. I'm not saying these are red pill. These are me personally. Okay. Red pill is the praxeology. This is what I think would work. Okay. This is how I use red pill praxeology for my own life. So if you look at the 9 iron rules of Tomasi, for example, those aren't particular. For God's sake, don't think that those are red pill. Okay. The 9 iron rules of Tomasi are the foundations of the red pill. No. That's me taking the red pill knowledge and saying frame is everything. Yeah. Or never tell a bitch how many women you've slept with, right? Let her figure that out on her own. Number 3, anytime a woman makes you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the wait. Well, everybody thinks that means I'm telling them women ought to be loose and fuck you on the first date. That's not what that means. Yeah. But the fact that I gotta explain it to you means you're
not getting the concept.
You're not getting it. So, or shacking up, right? That's number 4. Never move in with a woman who you don't plan to marry within 6 months, or never, God forbid, never sign a lease with your name on it. And
you're locked in.
Well, why would Rollo say that? I could do that. She helps me pay the rent. Yeah, now she does. But you know what that lease says? I, the undersigned, promise for 1 year to just fuck this one bitch that's moving in with me in this house. That's essentially what you're signing. It's worse than a marriage contract because you're locked in, right? You signed the lease 1 year. Unless you got the money to break it, I don't know. But anyways, the 9 iron rules are not necessarily red pill tenets. They are rational male Rollo Tomasi tenets, but the red pill informed those tenets. You see what I'm saying? So here's the database, and here's what I think are best practices. Right? You think you think I'm wrong? Then tell me to go fuck myself, or what? Let's go have a conversation about it. But one of the things I talk about is that. One of the suggestions, anyways, that I would point you in the right direction is that men and women, well, most men in particular, I think, because men tend to be more necessitous. They tend to approach marriage and relationships and really sex in general from a position of scarcity. And so what does that scarcity imply or prompt those guys to? It prompts them to lose themselves because they think that that's what's expected of them. They think I have to get rid of my comic books. They think I've got to stop doing. I gotta stop going fishing all the time. Or I can't play League of Legends. Well, you shouldn't play League of Legends, but I got to give up the things that I don't know what they are. I got to give up those hobbies. You got to put away your childish things. Well, who gets to determine what the fuck that is, right? Because I can tell you right now, I made a lot of money off of my childish ways, because I have a childlike curiosity about these things. In fact, I would say a lot of that same sort of intellectual curiosity that came from my hobbies transfers over into, I don't know, books like Steve Stewart Williams' new book here, or my book or whatever else. I'm curious to know what. Okay, here we go. Okay, stop the show really quickly. So this is Steve Stewart Williams' new book. Okay. Dr. Steve Stewart Williams. I didn't spend 8 years of medical school to be called Mr. Williams. Anyways, this is only available in the UK, Amazon right now, I guess. And there is no audio book for this as yet. There probably will be at some point. And I don't know if because Mike Sartain is just raving about this because we both are really big fans of Steve Stewart Williams. Actually, he's probably one next to like Marty Hazelton and Gad Saad. He'd probably be the next person I'd be slightly starstruck by, right? Anyways, it's out now. It came out in the beginning of June. He's been pumping this and hyping it since like the beginning of the year. But it only exists in this format right now, right? And so what does Mike Sartain, how does he digest his information? Audible. But there is no Audible. So there's only this book right now. So Mike, if you're watching this, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make you a bet. I will read this book, actually use my God-given eyes. I will read this book before you. I will read it before you because what he'll do is wait till the audio comes out. But I can't wait to dig into this. It looks like a really good read. I'm hoping there's no selloutage in all of this. But can't wait to get into this. I just got it yesterday. So anyways, so one of the things I was going to say, speaking of selling out, right? I think a lot of guys end up selling themselves out. And it's, so there's two things. Well, one is, and I believe it was either Royce or Pook. I can't remember which. No, it was Royce. I think it might have been in the 16 Commandments of Poon, right? You will make your mission, not your, you make your, life about your mission and not about your woman, right? And I think a lot of guys lose that before they get the woman in the first place, right? Because a lot of guys, because they were brought up by weak ass, weesh fucking blue pill beta dads, or they might have been power beard dads who are like very religious and they're still just regurgitating the same feminism without realizing that they're regurgitating that feminism. But what you do is you create a generation of guys, especially Gen Z. I'm going to pick on them a little bit, not you, of course. Hey. We're going to talk about your dad here in a minute. But guys who have maybe not been raised by a father at all, but they've been raised by a gynocentric social order that became their daddy for them. They don't understand this one principle, which is good relationships are built on polarity, not on similarity, not on compatibility. We need to be compatible, right? That whole thing about I'm going to take up pro beach volleyball, or I'm going to take up line dancing, or whatever the fuck it is, because I think that's a good way to meet chicks, right? That mentality comes from the idea that I've got to find something that makes me similar, something that makes me likable, something that we have in common. Well, we don't really have anything in common because I really like watching Aliens. I really like playing 40K, but this bitch plays pickleball. Yeah, I think I might be able to do that, you know? Or I better give up 40K because no chicks, I'm going to be a perma virgin if I keep playing Dungeons and Dragons at 50 years old, which you will be. But, but that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
I remember in the 80s when
the satanic
that satanic panic.
Yeah.
That's the one thing in Stranger Things that they never covered, dude. Yeah. And I was so pissed off too. Well, I guess kind of they did a little bit.
And then they just threw it away.
Yeah, when the preppy kids were like beating up on
Eddie,
Dustin or whatever his name. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, remember Eddie. Dude, they gave him such a shit send off. Fuck those guys for that, man. He carried that season, man. Eddie fucking Munson, man. Where is the love, Doofer Brothers? He was my favorite fucking character. I know that, and they killed him. It was a tragic character. It's totally fine that he died, but just snubbed him at the end, man. Like, where was the love?
He got to play Metallica, and they said, "All right, we got to cut him out."
Well, you know what? You got to. I know you got to. But you guys play Master. Was it Master? Yeah, Master of Puppets. Yeah. Well, so maybe that was your send off. Yeah, but so, but that's the thing is like, it's not even so much that you have some chick telling you, hey, you need to give up your whatever because I can't be with the guy who does X, Y, and Z. I don't think much. I'm not sure even women would necessarily do that per se. I mean, unless you're with some really snooty bitch or some religious girl, right?
It would have to take up a lot of time. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, I was point I was making about the 80s D&D thing is like there was a time when like I was playing D&D with I have a stepbrother too, by the way. And he and I used to play D&D constantly, and we belonged to, I was exactly the same age as the kids in Stranger Things during that time period, exactly the same age. And we were nerds, and people were like, chicks didn't have anything to do. You play, you wanted chicks to get away from you. That was how you did it. It was like, you carry around the player's handbook or the DM's guide or something like that. You're fucked, man. Was it the monster manual? It's like human females, number appearing 0. Yeah, that was the joke. But now it's cool. Everybody, it's like therapy for fucking wokesy nerds, man. It's like better than like psychological, like psychotherapy for you play D&D, you play role playing. You could be in a wheelchair, play a wheelchair. Like, doesn't matter that there's a cleric that can actually like heal you and like, raise you from the fucking dead. You're in a fucking wheelchair. What have we done, Wizards of the Coast? What have we done? We've lost our way. We've got to get back. We've got to go back, Marty. That nerdy shit. And so as a result of that, you go, God, I better start playing D&D. Well, why? Because I'm going to get my dick sucked at some point in my life, right? Then you get to college, right? Well, I could major in, I don't know, advanced mathematics and computer science, or I don't know, women's studies.
Women's studies?
Yeah.
Those girls in those classes.
Am I really into women's studies? There's a lot of chicks in there, though. And they look like they're pretty desperate. I know they're kind of earthy and smell like feet and patchouli oil, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna
Unshaved armpits.
Son, why did you change your major from sports therapy to women's studies? Developed a passion, I guess.
Women.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is you sell yourself out, and that becomes your identity. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I have been going back, speaking of books that I really like, I've been going back over Atomic Habits. And I really like Atomic Habits. There's very few like success porn guru, go out there and seize the day kind of thing. I hate Tony Robbins. Well, not personally. I just hate that whole slick, syrupy, saccharine, go, you can do it, man. Fuck that. Except for David Goggins, I like. David Goggins is fucking good. Like, he's just infectious, right? David Goggins and Atomic Habits. That's where I draw the line. But Atomic Habits is really good because a lot of that locks in with a lot of red pill stuff. I've got this one advertisement for my book where I've got the two of them paired up together because I think they're very complementary to one another, especially when it comes to like mental point of origin. And it comes to, as you know, I talk a lot about happiness on this show and the mechanics of happiness, not we're all going to be happy. You can't be happy. You can only do happy. Well, guess what? That locks in with a lot of what goes on I forget the name of the author. Who's the author? Give me that. I'm blocking his name. For Atomic Habits. But I'm ashamed to say that I forgot. Oh,
James
Clear. Sorry. God, James Clear. How can I forget Clear? So the thing about James Clear's work is that those habits are processes, right? He's like, it's like you can't fall in love with the goal, and which goes down to like happiness being a proximate outcome, not an ultimate outcome. An ultimate outcome is the goal. That's the direction we're going to fly the plane, right? We want to go over here.
The hero's journey.
But the thing is, it's not about the goal. It's not about the destination. It's about the process that it takes while you're going that direction. Sometimes maybe that's not a goal. Let's go over this goal over here, right? But I think the key points in the book is you have to fall in love with the process. Whatever the process is, has to be something that is intrinsically, inherently rewarding for you, which locks in perfectly with how happiness is a proximate outcome. You don't be happy, you do happy. You do the things that make you feel intrinsically, inherently, innately rewarded. Hopefully those are constructive, right? Hopefully that's not like doing heroin or smoking too much weed, right? Sin makes me happy. Why can I do it? Well,
why can I sin forever?
Because the ultimate outcome of that is you get fucked, right? But the process is what you need to fall in love with. And that, I think, is where guys, my sons, this is where you're going to lose the path. The path is falling in love with the process. Because the process determines the progress. Sorry, James Clear, I'm butchering your line. But falling in love with that process. So what is the process? Sometimes that process might develop out of hobbies. Sometimes that process might develop out of just you have a natural talent for something, right? You might have like a genetic predisposition to be a basketball player because you happen to be born 6'7", right? So I think you're going to play basketball, Michael Jordan, but it's being able to, being able to see like what you're good at, obviously, playing to your strengths, that's always going to play in, but falling in love with that process. What do you really like to do? What is it because what you like to do and that process eventually turns into what your identity is. And I really like this one. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but I really like this one point that was in the book. And I actually read the physical copy of the book way back in the day. And then I'll tell you the reason later on, but I recently had a reason to go and listen to the audiobook again, which is what I've been doing recently. And So the thing is, when you're talking about the progress, following the process and falling in love with that process, sometimes that process begins as a hobby. Sometimes that process begins as just some sort of interest in, like, oh, I'm going to pick up a pencil and just scribble and doodle and stuff. And suddenly you've discovered, you go, I can draw the owl. Ryan, I draw the rest of the owl. And you can, right? But the falling in love with that process is really part of that proximate happiness, like the feeling of we call it happiness or contentment or reward. But what is that really? That's you feeling good vibes or feeling good chemicals or feeling your dopamine. Well, dopamine would be involved in that, and the endorphins, which is the good feeling stuff that are involved in all of that, and then what motivates you to get better. Well, because I really want to do this. I really like this. I'm really into this. I'm really good at art. I'm really good at mathematics. I'm really good at, I don't know, whatever you're good at. Right? But here's the thing. If what you think you should be good at makes you less sexually desirable in the sexual marketplace, how do you square that fucking circle? Well, every like stoic, every success guru, certainly every MGTOW and every fucking MRA in the world is going to go, fuck that, man. You should go your own way and do what you got to do. And sooner or later, some chick will come along and she'll really appreciate you for who you are. Well, if that were the case, then all these fucking, 180 IQ geniuses would be like swimming in top shelf pussy. They're not. Sometimes what you like to do, sometimes the process, your purpose, because your process ends up becoming your purpose, right? Or you will call it your purpose eventually, right? Like Eddie Van Halen's purpose was to play fucking rad ass guitar from the day he was born. They put a guitar, actually I shouldn't say Alex Van Halen it was actually his guitar. And it was Eddie Van Halen's drum kit. And Eddie had a I think this is how the story goes. Eddie Van Halen had a paper route so that he could pay for the drums. When he was out delivering papers, Alex was playing his drums and getting good at drums. Wow. And so Eddie picked up the guitar and the rest is fucking history, right? But they both had certainly a natural genetic predisposition to be very good musicians. Why? Because both their mom and dad were like, I think his mom was a pianist and I think his father was like a concert violinist too. I think that's how it went.
It's in the genes.
In Pasadena, California, which is where I was born and raised. Thank you. The local heroes. But yeah, they grow them wild in Pasadena. So the thing is that he had a natural innate talent that could be fostered thanks to the environment, and then you get the product is Eddie Van Halen, right? But if Eddie Van Halen said, you know what? I found this really hot bitch down at the beach, down at Huntington Beach. And, she doesn't like it. She's like musicians. She needs to find a guy who's in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund. And I'm just not going to play guitar anymore. I'm just going to, because I really want to get with this hot fucking bitch, right? That story happens so many fucking times, man. That mea culpa. I've done exactly the same fucking thing in my life. And not with music, but like with other things too, right? And it takes a long time for you to process that and realize, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't want to get with a bitch who's like that. I'm done. I'm going to go out with this chick or whatever else, is somebody who really who doesn't care what my process is, what my purpose is. Because sometimes your purpose is going to be at odds. A lot of times your purpose is going to be at odds. And that's why I ended the clip section of today's show with that one chick right there talking about hobbies. What if the next Tiger Woods sees this video and says, oh man, chicks don't like golf? Damn. Well, fuck, man. I'm going to start playing pickleball. Yeah. I'm going to start doing, I don't know, polka dancing or something. Like, I don't know what should I try? What do they like? Sorry. Salsa dancing. I'm going to pick up like, Latin dance because that's what chicks seem to be into. My sons, your father is speaking to you right now. Don't fall into that trap, man. Do not fall into that trap. That doesn't mean bitches are gonna all to get you, right? No, it's you. You will kill your own dreams. This is actually a chapter in my first book. It's called Dream Killers. Women are dream killers, but not because they're maliciously dream killers, because you will kill your own dreams because you think you have to get with that one girl, because you think that's the ultimate goal. Well, I want to get and God damn it, if every tradfluencer, tradcon guy isn't going to tell you the same fucking thing. Oh, yeah, you need to grow up and be a man. Okay, what does that mean? That means you got to sell your comic books. Well, I'm a pretty good illustrator. I was thinking about penciling the next great, graphic novel. I was going to do the next Invincible. Thanks, fuck. I got to give it. Yes, you do, because the Lord wants you to, and you got to go out there and get a job in a warehouse somewhere because you got some bills to pay, mister. We need more white American evangelical babies in the world. So you better get out there and start working for Amazon. But I'm really good at like pen and ink. I'm really good at Photoshop. I'm really good at now. No. Sometimes it doesn't come from chicks. Sometimes it might come from your family. God knows it came from my dad. Yeah. My dad. Okay, I'll give you some Papa Tomasi wisdom. He didn't give me much. Actually, he gave me very little. But my father used to say, like, because I wanted to be a rock star, dude. I was getting fucking tail all the time. Like, well, I'm going to listen to this guy. I'm getting way more pussy than you ever got in your 20s, dude. But my dad always used to say, like, whatever you do, be the best at it, right? Just be the best you can be at it. And then my dad also was, because my dad was very much a Delta male. Like, and I'm not ashamed to say that. My dad was just, he came from a different generation. He was like, I think he was the silent generation, because it's in between the greatest generation and the baby boomers. In between theirs was the silent generation. I believe that's what my dad was. 1938. I think so. Anyways, he certainly wasn't a boomer. I'll tell you that, because he was well past the age of Aquarius back then. But my dad was like, you go to work, you put in an honest day's work, you get an honest day's pay. My dad fucking commuted from Pasadena, California to Torrance Memorial Hospital because he was the vice president of Torrance Memorial Hospital back in the day. That, like, if you, I'm looking, because I have to look at the drive from Vegas to Catalina for my anniversary. And I was looking at Pasadena and I look at Torrance, like, fuck, my dad did that every day. Yes, he did. He made a lot of money for doing it, but, and that was back when traffic wasn't what it is now. All right. But my dad would just put in an honest day's work, honest day's pay. His parents came from a different generation. My grandfather was an oral surgeon and graduated top of his class in 1929 at USC, University of Southern California, and oral surgery. And that took a lot. It was like 8 years, certainly back then. I think it was. And the reason I know that is because I have his diploma framed and hanging on my wall in my studio right now. It is this big when they used to make a real fucking certificate when you graduated and everybody signed it, and it was like press printed. It was none of this digital bullshit, and it still to this day has the gold like sort of inlay on it. 1929. It still looks like they just handed it to him. And so that was what my grandfather did. Then he had my dad was one of 4 children, and he was the second to the youngest. And he, like I said, he came from a generation he's a Delta male, right? He was, go in, you put in an honest day's work. He was not, blue collar. He was definitely white collar, but he came from that mentality where you go and you work until you get to be 65. You didn't have a 401k. You had a pension because you always worked for a solid organization who gave you a pension, right? And then you go and you live in the villages and you play golf and get an STD. And then you die. And you go to an assisted living facility and it's all over. Right? And that's the plan. Boy, wouldn't it be great if it was that simple? But that was my dad's whole shtick. But my dad would always tell me, like, you got to have, like, if you're going to be a musician, young Rollo, then you need to have a fallback plan. My fallback plan ended up being my interest in art and graphic design. And boy, there's a story behind that too. But again, my passion for playing music in the LA metal scene of the late 80s and early 90s, that actually led into my career as a graphic designer, because I used to design flyers for the bands, because there was no Instagram, there was no Spotify. You had if you wanted to make money, God knows there wasn't any money in it, but if you wanted to make money and survive as a band, like if you wanted to do, first of all, you had to get a demo tape. There was no CDs. It was a cassette tape. And but you needed a demo tape so you could take it to clubs so they could hear what you sound like, right? And so to do a 4-song demo tape, which was rare, usually it's more like 2 or 3. It was somewhere between like per if you're in a 4-member group, it was somewhere between like anywhere from $600 and $800 per member to do that. And you better know your shit. Like when you go in,
your time,
because if you fuck up, that's time on a clock, right? You're paying a producer to do that with this big giant analog board and everything else. It's all on like a 64 track, recording studio. Well, young Rolo had no money. Still don't today. Had no money. And so I'm like, oh, how am I going to make some money at this? And I looked around me and I see all these flyers on the sidewalk of Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset or whatever. If we play at the Roxy or play at Gazzari's or whatever. And I'm looking at all this because all these guys would come up and like chicks would be waiting to get into Gazzari's or the Roxy or the Troubadour or something like that. And these dudes would come up and they, your hair's out to fun. Lord knows mine was out to here. And they'll be, hey, baby, come see my band. So you like hand out these things and you like post them and glue them to a light pole or something like that. And of course, the next day there's another one on top of it. But I'm looking at all these flyers on the ground and I go, fuck, man. This is like, nobody wants the people look at it and throw it away, right? I'm like, how can I get people to keep my flyer? And if I'm playing like the next weekend, how do I get them to hang on to that flyer? So what did I do? Well, me being the comic book pen and ink artist that I was, I drew up some pretty badass, like illustrations to go on the flyers for the band. I would come up with the logos and everything. And then I would learn how to typeset, which was basically like, paste up, like putting stuff on. And then you go to the Xerox machine. Fortunately, our drummer actually worked at a printing place. So we would go and we'd just use the Xerox machine and rattle these things off. But I did some pretty badass flyers back then. And people would hang on to them. I suddenly discovered people would hang on to them if you gave them good art, because it seemed like something they want to put on their wall or their garage or some shit like that. And then other bands started seeing my artwork.
Yeah.
And they go, dude, who does your flyers? I'm like, me. Like, can you do some for us? I'm like, fuck yeah, I can for $800. So I can pay for my next fucking demo tape. And lo and behold, I started making money because I was doing flyers for other people, right? Ergo, later on down the road, Rolo becomes a graphic designer as a result of that experience, right? So, but what if I had said, you know what? Chicks don't dig graphic designers. Actually, they really don't dig graphic designers. But, that's, what they do dig? The money that comes from graphic design, they fucking love, right? So sometimes you turn your passion into cash, and then it doesn't matter what your fucking hobbies are. Elon Musk could be the best fucking he could be the best orc player at 40K. He could play the worst fucking army in the world. It wouldn't make any difference, right? Or Henry Cavill, who plays Custodes. You look as good as Henry Cavill.
Exactly. You can play whatever the hell you want.
You can play Necrons. They don't care.
He could have a track record of
they do not care.
TV, dude. Like, come on.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. So that's the thing is. So yeah, I'm looking at I'm going to get to the super chats. Don't worry. We will get to that here in just a minute. But this is actually. Oh, where'd it go? 1 second. I'm so tired of the shaming tactics. Well, if by that. And you mean like, well, women are going to shame me for the hobbies that you have or whatever. Remember, I'm not even talking about hobbies at this point. I'm talking about the process. So sometimes the process that you fall in love with, that's the process that might define your identity later in life, or certainly the jobs or the decisions or something that if you have a talent for something, that process, I think one of the worst, mind fucks, gaslighting. The worst form of gaslighting is when you gaslight yourself. When somebody convinces, like they don't have to do any work. It's like set it and forget it, right? You're going to gaslight yourself because you believe the bullshit that your mom told you, your dad told. And I'm not like people who are well-meaning people. They could be your friends. You're trying to be something you're not, man. You're a poser. You're goddamn right. I'm trying to be something I'm not. I'm trying to be something better than what I am right now. That's the whole fucking point, right? Well, you're trying to be like something you're not. You're trying to do something. What do you think you're a bodybuilder now? Yes, I call myself a bodybuilder now. That's by the way, that's in Atomic Habits. I am not trying to be a bodybuilder. I am a bodybuilder. Those are two different statements, right? Or what do you say? What would a bodybuilder do in this situation, right? Yeah. What would a rich man do in this situation? What would a high status, high value guy do in this situation. I think one of the stupidest, most dumbest, I'm not dumbest, but I think it's one of the most useless sort of memes or jingoisms in the manosphere is this idea that you shouldn't follow your passions. Like, no, absolutely follow your passions. Absolutely do that. Because, I mean, you got to be able to fund those passions. I get that. But, like, again, it comes back to that process. What is the identity that comes out of that? And I think the idea of the ideas that you should or shouldn't do something, because again, it's not even like maybe your mom, or maybe it's this woke culture, or maybe it's your church, or maybe it's your tradcon dude or your ortho broke friend or whatever else. It doesn't have to be coming from the typical feminist source, right? You're going to alter your own thinking according to what these people tell you is valuable to them, or what they tell you a real man does. That's easy, right? Hey, fuck you. I'll tell you what a real man does, right? Don't you tell me what a real man does, because you don't know what a real man does. Right? But see, the whole thing, real man, qualifying this thing, does what? The process. A real man has this as his process. A real man has this as his identity, is what they're really saying. You should believe in my fucking religion. You should believe in my political ideology. You should believe in whatever I'm fucking telling you. And I tell you the thing, I was talking to Joe Marin I was at GA, at General Mission, with Joe, and I said, I have a really tough time with the side of the manosphere. And he was like, I don't even have the manosphere, but like the trad bros, I guess, who just, they long for this regimen. They really want structure. They should just join the military, really, but they want this regimen, meaning they need to have step 1, step 2, step 3, 12 rules for life. Make your bed, right? Okay, I mean, I understand the logic and the principle behind that. Hell, the make your bed thing, Peterson stole that right out of Atomic Habits, by the way. But the point is this, is like, I really, and maybe it's because I'm Gen X, because I've always fought against the status quo. I've always been like, it's punk rock, man. It's like, wake up with a stiff dick and a stiff middle finger for the world, and I'm going to do things the way that I want to do them. And then I see like Gen Z, and they're like, well, we really need to have more structure, and we should get married early, and Charlie Kirk. And
it's because they got burnt out.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't know out of that shit.
Yeah. They don't know where else. Exactly. What are you what are you rebelling against?
Exactly. Yeah.
Woke culture.
Yeah.
Because the wokesy sort of progressive liberal, side of it, the gynocentric social order, right? Let's cast this in, let's put this in red pill perspective, right? The female correct, feminine primary, way of organizing society. That's the predominant, zeitgeist of today. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit about patriarchy. Patriarchy died about when I was born, 1968. Yeah, it did. You know when it died? It died right after hormonal birth control came around. And it's just been progressively dying this slow, painful, agonizing death. There is no such thing as patriarchy. You just wipe your ass with that whole thing. That's just you regurgitating dead memes from 70 years ago. That's like listening to like the oldies station going, have you heard this new thing? Yeah. Fuck that.
Parody's a parody.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like, you would talk about like, I'm done with these shaming tactics. Okay, but and this is not flaming you at all, but I caught that last chat.
It was at a response.
I know it was. I saw it. I caught it, but it was. But the thing is like you're only shamed if you have a sense of shame, which I don't. But it's but where does that come from? You're not going to feel shame from somebody like especially not women in that case, but it's kind of pointless. It doesn't matter whether you feel shame or not, or them trying to shame you, because if you're willing to gaslight yourself in the first place, the work is fucking done.
Yeah.
It's already done. You're already who they want you to be, because you think you need to be who they want you to be. You think that your thoughts are original. It's a conception, man. You think you have these original thoughts, but you really don't. You got to boil down. You got to go all the way down to where the top is, for the point of inception, to find out who implanted that idea in your head in the first place. Your mental point of origin.
When I'm right, I don't waver.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. It doesn't imbalance. Right. I like that. That's a good fucking quote, man. I gotta watch that movie again. I only watched that once. I was like, fuck, that was a good movie. That was at least as good as The Matrix, I think.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Yeah, it could be. Depends on context, right?
I mean, maybe now that I have an appreciation for it, I think it's on the same level of importance, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because what happens is if somebody if somebody can corrupt your process, if somebody can say, your purpose isn't really that, your purpose is this. What's your purpose? Your purpose is you should fall in love with the process that serves this purpose. And what does that do? That purpose ends up becoming your identity. Because if you do something long enough, then you are the guy that does this, right? So what is it? We are what we continually do, or we habitually do. That's why it's a habit, right? I know that I've heard this a million times. I'm certain you have too. You have a habit. What is it? Habit informs a practice informs the destiny, whatever it is. You somehow you get from habit all the way to destiny. Okay, I got it. I'm fucking it up. But anyways, let me get to these real quick before we move on. I've been remiss. Diffs between direct game. Okay, yeah, we wanted to get to this one too. So let's do this real quick. This will be a good question for the call-in. Yeah. So this is the kind of question I want to see when we do the call-in shows. Difference between direct game pickup, okay, I guess it's pickup, bar hitting on girls versus Mystery's indirect pickup versus Michael's cold approach to build a social circle. Okay, so first of all, you're really kind of talking about two concepts. There's direct game and indirect game. What Michael does with social circle game is technically an offshoot of indirect game, but we'll get to that when we get to it. The difference between indirect and direct game. Okay, this is where I used to, if you want to know more about this, I have a whole section dedicated to this in the 5th book, which is the Player's Handbook, where I describe the process and what the thinking was. So first thing you have to understand is that direct game is not, it wasn't created by Alan Roger Curry. Okay, I'm sorry to say. God rest his soul, vaya con Dios, rest in peace, my brother. But, mode one, that was direct game, right? And so what if we want to use ARC's definition of direct game, it's don't waste your time with manipulative game players. I believe that was his line, right? It's just the direct game is the shortest point from point A to point B. Okay. So it seems like when people first hear about direct game, they think, well, let's just say, is that chick down to fuck or is she not down to fuck? If she's not, then I'm going to move on. We're going to not waste a lot of time and just say, baby, you want to fuck? No? Okay, fine. I'll go on. Hey, you want to fuck? Like, now, granted, it's not as that. That's really reductionist and stupidly simplified. But the principle here, anyways, is that you should be direct. You should say what you mean and mean what you say. It's very masculine, right? It's using masculine language. Remember how I told you how women's language is covert and men's language is overt. Okay, direct game, very fucking overt. You're speaking the language of the man when you're doing that. Okay, say what you mean and mean what you say. And if those girls can't say what they mean and mean what they say, then they're manipulative game players and we're going to just move on. Okay, that's not really what direct game was. Direct game, although that sounds very attractive to guys who are like, want to be really authentic. Okay. Direct game actually came out of the same pickup artists who Mystery was a part of. Okay. It was just different dudes in the Venusian arts at that time. I want to say it was Papa who did this. I forget the other guy. I have to ask Mystery who were the guys who really, actually Mike would probably know too. But there was an offshoot or a branch of the alt-fast seduction was the forum. And they said this because Mystery has a method, right? He has his phases, right? There's the attraction phase, there's the seduction phase, or the rapport phase, and there's the seduction phase, right? Well, the thing is that guys were finding out that with certain girls who were already, they were motivated buyers, the buying temperature was really up there. It didn't seem like a good use of time to go from attraction through rapport and then go to seduction after that, because it's like Mystery always says something like it takes 8 hours to really do a full seduction. So it's not, you spend a little time here, spend a little time here, and whatever else, and you're just, it's not like you do it all at once at 8 hours. But the thing is those guys said, why is it taking 8 hours? I could fuck this chick in 2, because she's already attracted to me. I'm attracted to her. It's not really going to matter. Maybe do a little rapport, right? Mm-hmm. To build a little bit of trust, but she's not worried too much about that because she's just down to DTF, right? And so then it goes straight to seduction. So you're really kind of eliminating the middle part of the phases right there. That was the beginning of direct game, because I was like, she's already hot to go. I'm going to go straight to seduction, and then we're going back to the hotel room. That was pretty much it. That was direct game. Well, the problem with direct game in that sense is like, this is how I describe it in the Player's Handbook. Direct game is like, there's 2 ways to win a war, right? Mm-hmm. There's attrition, where you just throw bodies at the fucking wall, or at each other, right? And whoever has the most bodies, they win. Or you put enough force against the wall and the wall comes down, right? So it's just force versus force. Whichever one has the best, and think of that as direct game. Direct game, there's no subtlety to it. There's no tactics. There's no strategy to it. It's just throw bodies at the wall until the wall comes down, okay? That direct game. Then there is the other way to win a war, which is through strategy, subterfuge, tactics, flanking maneuvers, especially if you're a weaker force going against a stronger force, you're going to use high ground. You're going to use this is the 40K guy. Guerrilla warfare could actually be a form of this too. So the strategy and the tactical side are tactical way of winning a war. And then there's the attrition side. Think of attrition as direct game, and think of indirect game, that like say Mystery would be using. Think of that as the strategic way to get laid, or the strategic way for seduction or intimacy, whatever the goal is that you have set at the end. That's the process. That's good. What a brilliant fucking illustration. Okay. Direct game, the process of direct game, are you DTF? But direct game also means that you've got to determine whether or not that chick is the kind of chick who would be DTF in the first place.
Go watch Jersey Shore. They're doing direct game the entire time.
That's all it is. Fucking the situation, man.
Yeah. You down?
You down? Yeah, that's more or less it. But here's the thing, is I look at, and this is how I described it again, this is my take on it, in the Rational Male Player's Handbook, is there are certain situations where direct game work great. But those are very few. You got to be, first of all, you got to be a guy who can sort of read a woman well enough to know that she's DTF, right? Most guys don't have that social savvy, unless you're a really good player. Mm-hmm. The best guys, the best direct game guys have been doing indirect game for years before they get good at direct game. Okay, because they got to figure out the process before. It's like you got to know the rules before you can break the rules. So you got to learn the indirect rules before you can break them to go direct, if that makes sense. So you got direct game, you got indirect game. The process for indirect game is very simplistic. It's throw bodies against the wall. It's RUDTF. Now, the process for indirect game is way more complex, and it takes longer to learn. It's wax on, wax off, and it's karate. It's karate. Mm-hmm. Oh man, Dirk will kill me for calling it karate.
You're learning the art.
You can block a bullet with a nunchuck. Not block, or deflect. What movie? Come on, God. It's Father's Day. I get to make movie references. You just be glad I'm not making Predator references today.
Dodging arrows.
Yes, you can dodge a bullet. Or you could block a bullet with a nunchuck. No, I mean you could deflect a bullet. It's like just Rockwell. Okay, so that's the difference there. Now, okay, so but mystery method, like indirect game, that's usually where everybody starts, so that you can learn direct game. So you don't really, I mean, technically you should go through and learn all of these things, because to me anyways, it's like the Bruce Lee method of learning seduction, right? What did Bruce Lee do, right? He went, he would learn kung fu, he would learn karate, he would learn this, he would learn like all these different forms of martial arts, and he would take the best or take whatever worked for him the best, and then he would put that into his martial art, right? And so you would take all this good stuff, what hapkido, jiu-jitsu, whatever it was, be like water, my friend, right? And so he would take those. So I don't see any reason not to be able to be good at indirect game for certain contexts and for certain situations, and then also say, well, this chick looks like she's ready to fuck.
It's all about discernment.
I'm going to go. Yeah, that's why they call it pickup art, pickup artistry. It is an art. It's not PUS.
There's levels
pickup
to
science.
this shit.
If it was a science, everybody would be getting laid. We would all be happy, but it's not, because certain situations. But by the way, that's the fun of it. If you're not enjoying the process of going out and meeting women and using your skills, and if you don't dig on that, then what are you fucking doing it for? Well, let's get shut down, Rolo. Oh, those pickup artist guys, they have like a 1% success rate or a 4% success rate. I'm like, yeah, but it's not a 0% success rate that it would be if you stayed home and jerked off and played League of Legends.
Hey, I'm not jerking off, all right?
Not during the game.
At the same time, I'm just at that level.
So anyways, so a social circle game, my take. I would love to hear Mike's opinion of this, but I think he'd understand what I'm saying. Social circle game is a offshoot of indirect game, right? It's not like day game. It's not like cold approach. Definitely not cold approach. But it's a technique. It's definitely a strategy. So it does fit in with the covert, the strategic side of that spectrum, and it's basically developing a social network. I think a lot of people think that he's promoting you getting into like networks of guys. Go make friends with guys who have tables and bottle service. And that's not what it's about. It's about creating your own social network, creating your own events, putting together organizing something so that you're there and the girls are coming there. Some of your best friends are coming there. So you can't can't just be chicks, right? And it might, I think what's funny is I think where people kind of lose the narrative with social circle game is they think of it as being manipulative, because what you're doing, you're only forming that organization or that event to get laid. And I will guarantee you this will be one of the first things that Paul Elam throws at Mike on July 8th. I'm saying it once again. I will say it every fucking show until it's over, okay? I'm announcing this for the third time. Actually, the fourth time, because I announced it on Rule 0 yesterday. Yes, Mike and I will be having a lively, enthusiastic, emphatic discussion. I ain't going to call it a debate with Paul Elam and some other dude whose name escapes me. But that will be on July 8th. We're already set up to do that. I think it's going to be live streamed, so we'll let you know the details when we're ready to do it. But it's coming up soon. It'll be like in a few weeks. So once again, Paul, if you're watching, which I know you are, we're coming, man. But anyways, but I know what he'll say. You're the only reason you're doing this event is because you want to get your dick wet. And my answer to you is, fuck yeah. Absolutely we are. One of the things I like, people have asked me, like, Rolo, I don't know what event I should create. I live in Omaha, Nebraska, or I live somewhere that's that's not a hip, cool place to go. I'm like, well, you have two choices. One is you can try to figure out something where you can get local people to come and hang out, or you can move. That's basically your options. So I've talked to guys who have been in, I know a dude who's in Seattle. I know a guy who's in the Midwest. I know other guys who want to be able to take the skills that they learn in MOA. That's Mike's group. I guess you could say Reignite too.
Localizer.
And then exactly. Localize it. Well, I don't know what kind of event can I form here? I'm like, well, a charity's not too tough. Another one that I like to do, and maybe this is just it would work better in Vegas, obviously, but I don't see why you couldn't apply it elsewhere. Is if you have some friends who are photographers, You don't have to have 2 or 3 of them, and they don't even have to be that good photographers, right? But what you do is you say, you put it on YouTube you put it on Instagram, and you say, hey, we've got on this Saturday night at this club, at this place, or this restaurant, this bar and grill, I don't know, wherever you are at. We're going to have an event, a soiree of some sorts, and we're going to connect models, like hot chick models, with photographers. You know how many chicks will fucking show up to something like that?
Rest up to the night.
And all you got to do, and then you got some of your friends, they got some, and maybe they actually do have an interest. They have in the process of photography, right? But then now you're the dude that creates that event. Now what happens is somebody else says, hey man, I got this other event that's coming up. Can you do this? Can you do that? Now you're an event organizer. I know it sounds kind of schmaltzy, like coming out of my mouth right now, but the shit does work. So that was the first thing I could think of off the top of my head. But that's social circle game, which is creating those events for yourself so that when you get into those environments, people are at least somewhat familiar with you. So the girls that responded to your YouTube or your Instagram, reel or whatever to say, hey, we're on this night, Friday night, 8 p.m., for drinks till 9, whatever. Come out here and check this out. We're going to hook up, aspiring models with photographers in the area. Great. Now what? Well, you still have to have like some form of game once you get there. Right? So you still have to use indirect game once you're in that social situation. So, and this is what I got this from Mystery. Mystery says, social circle game, great. It says, well, what do you say once you're there?
Yeah, you got to be able to close.
You still have to be able to close. So you still have to have those interpersonal skills, and that's where most people fail. So, but you asked me for the $5 version of that. I gave you the $100 version of that. Thank you very much. I'll be expecting another super chat from you. What's going on, Rolo? Hey, Mr. Jason. High effort dad sounds exhausting. Are you a father or a personal assistant? A PA.
Shoot.
Well, see, this is a thing. Thank you for that. Well done, sir. That one, it was kind of egregious, wasn't it? I think it's funny because I hand selected those clips because this is the Father's Day show, as you know, and I am a father, as you also know, and I'm going to give you a few little insights I think about fatherhood. Okay. Is it important to show up? Yes, that is the number one thing. I don't know why we need reel after fucking reel. Hey, man, it's just important that fathers show up. No shit. Really? And then what? That's the whole thing. It's like, yes, it's important that mom and dad stay together. Yes, absolutely. You want to know why my daughter is such a well-adjusted, wonderful girl who is actually going back to school for her doctorate now, who has a master's degree with Magna honors, who has always been a very well-adjusted, wonderful, loving, generous, incredible, compassionate girl child, now a woman, who has no use for me anymore. No, she's in Lake Tahoe now with her friends right now. So, no, she's great. And I can attribute a lot of that certainly to, being red pill. It's not like I set out and go, you know what, how can I raise this kid in a red pill? I just did it. I just do what I do. And I think that's a lot of people want to say like I get this a lot. Like people say, I wouldn't want to be Rolo because that would mean I would have to game my wife all the time. You've heard me say this before, right? This is cliche on this show now. And I'll keep saying, I am the game. I don't have to game my wife because anytime something gamey comes up, it's me. It's part of my identity right now, right? My wife is giving me a shit test. I could choose option A, B, C, or D. Or I can just go, honey, you're giving me a shit test right now. And
I call out bullshit.
I call bullshit. Go to your room.
Objection.
Yeah, exactly. That's not part of my thought process. So I wrote, I don't think enough people really realize this, but like my third book is called Positive Masculinity. And I wrote that. I always try to stress this book on Father's Day because fathers get fucked on this day. honestly. I mean, historically, I'm trying to be positive as I possibly can here. I wrote an essay on Substack. It was called Daddy Issues. It's actually a reformed essay I wrote a long time ago on the Rational Male. I brought it up to date because I think it's still relevant, but you kind of have to like say, we're in 2026 now, right? But here's what made me like really sad about that whole thing. Nothing's changed since I wrote the original back in 2013. Nothing, literally nothing has changed. So when I did the research for my third or my fourth book, Religion, one of the things if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. I would go to different churches and sort of assess the pastor or the minister or whatever the fuck it was, whoever I was looking at. And one of the things that was always really glaringly obvious to me was the difference between Mother's Day sermons and Father's Day sermons. Mother's Day sermons were always, oh, you're wonderful, you're a superhero, you do it all. You can't praise them any higher than they already are. They're this. Here's God and here's Mom, and if Mama ain't happy, it means God ain't happy. And it's just this worship fest of the woman, of the mother, of Mary, right? And what's the message on Father's Day? Do better, motherfucker. That's what it is. Stop jerking. You have a problem. You struggle with pornography. Well, you're not a man if you do that, right? You're not a father if you struggle with pornography. You're not good enough, right? Yeah. But see, that all that is really kind of reflecting. It's kind of like mirroring what secular society is saying to men, anyways, right? Do better. We already know that. You're no good. You will never be good. Put it that way. Keep trying to be good. Keep trying to measure up, but you never really will measure up. For women, it's the opposite. It's like, you are enough. How many self-help books have been titled "You Are Enough," right? But the same thing flows over. You are enough is Mother's Day, and you're a fuck up and do better. You're never going to be good enough, but keep trying, Dad. And that's usually what the message of the sermon is on Father's Day, which is kind of tragic because I really think that we need to sort of change that message up. I'm almost, maybe I'm not shocked, but I'm kind of like disappointed that like it's not I haven't seen one sermon or one pastor or whatever who's ever said, you know what, guys, we need to lift our men up. They fucking do a lot, because they can't do that. Because the secular message, the worldly message, whatever you want to call it, is usually the daddy fucked me up. Daddy was absent. Daddy didn't do this. Daddy wasn't enough, right? Daddy wasn't there. Daddy, that's why we call it daddy issues, right?
Was it the Austin Powers song, Daddy Wasn't Home?
Yeah. Daddy wasn't home, right? Yeah. And so what happens is then, and I'm not just saying women, because it's easy to say, oh, well, she's got daddy issues. And a lot of women do have daddy issues, but women are prone to victimhood as it is. What's funny is when guys learn the same kind of victimhood that is, because why wouldn't they?
Accountability dodging.
Yeah. At what point do you get over that? It's the same thing when I talk about healing. Women, I hate these men because they need to go to therapy because they're all unhealed.
They got to go yell at the woods.
Yeah, smash
shit,
smash sticks into the ground or whatever. Yeah. When are you healed? Do I get a diploma? Congratulations, you're healed. It took you 4 years. You have a 4-year healed degree. You're never healed. That's the whole thing. It's churn marketing. They want to keep you in the churn. I have this unhealed this and unhealed that. I gotta work on my inner game before I can go out into the clubs, Rolo. I gotta figure out my childhood trauma. Bullshit. Your outer game will cure 90% of your inner game. Trust me. Nothing heals like a hot piece of ass. It's just really into fucking you on a Friday night, man. Suddenly all that other shit just melts away.
No, I don't care.
I don't know. Was it Ryan Stone? Was it MGTOW? Black pill doomers are one blowjob away from being red pill. They are. It's circumstantial. It's fucking biological, for crying out loud. All right. What is this next one? Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. Somebody gets this. Father's Day, Rolo in class. Dad to a little boy of 3 and girl of 7. Congratulations, sir. There you go. There. We need to lift up our dad. That's just what we do in this show is we lift up our fathers.
Looks like a bodybuilder too.
Looks like a bodybuilder. Well, I saw this meme. I think it was on Instagram. It's always like some bodybuilder dude's on trend. You can tell you saw the guys on gear, right? He goes, I work out because I want to be the dad that looks good at the beach or something like that, or the dad who all of my son's friends say is the bodybuilder dad or something like that. Yeah. I have to teach the boy how to operate in a gynocentric society, but how do I also teach my little girl how to operate in it and not squander her youth and beauty? So I will tell you how I wish I could say it was a conscious kind of thing for me. I kind of just did this naturally, but I would, my daughter, first of all, it's like, you have to identify if you have a daughter, identify what that girl is about, right? I know that sounds weird, but identify what she's about. My daughter was a girly girl from very early. And my wife, very feminine. If you met my wife is very feminine. And so as a result, a product of that is that my daughter is now 28 years old and she talks to my wife 4 times a day, right? They love my wife and my daughter are just very, very loving and love each other's company, right? Now it's mom, but she's also her best friend too, right? Yeah, and so they always tell you, you can't be a parent and be your kid's best friend. Well, you can once that kid hits 21, older, 25, when they're an adult, sure. Maybe when you're bringing them up and you have to have some sort of separation between, authority and discipline or whatever else. Okay. I totally can get behind that. But once the kid's just an adult, all bets are off. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? And my daughter and I are very close too. Okay. My wife has a different relationship with my daughter than I do. My daughter loves me crazy. What gets me is when people see me with my daughter, Jake Cope has been we have had a Thanksgiving dinner with Jake and Ricky and Joe Marin and other people that I know. And they just will afterwards, they'll pull me aside and go, I can't believe the kind of relationship you have with your daughter and your wife. Right. And I have a very small family. It's just us 3. That's it. Right? And the dogs. But I mean, a lot of people will ask me how do I get what you got? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I can only tell you what I did. And so my thinking at the time when my daughter was born, when she was in her formative years, I used to take my daughter to band practices. I used to take my daughter to musical things because that's what I was into. I was just, hey, why don't you come along? Come tag along. She loved it. That's why she has appreciation for the kind of music that she likes, right? My daughter doesn't go to EDC. Okay. My daughter would rather go to watch a REO Speedwagon or something. That's my daughter's. But I mean, she likes other stuff too. Yeah. But she's, she likes Taylor Swift. I'm a failure there. Okay. But she also likes the darkness, she also likes Van Halen. What I used to, okay, story time. When my daughter was this year's old, she was she looked like a burrito, when you could burrito her. I used to have to, in some place, sometimes I did gig work back then. And I remember I had to go work at Boeing actually. Okay. And I was in Tahoe and I had to go fly down to Downey and do some work. And I came back. But what I used to do to put my daughter to bed, because you have to if you've ever had a kid, man, you got to walk them around and, until they start sleeping. And then, okay, the kid's asleep. And it's like a nuclear device.
Don't trip the wire.
Boom. Yeah. But you have to, I wore out a hole in the carpet doing, pacing around in the kid's crib room. Right. And what I would do is
I don't know any like kid songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any lullabies. I don't know any Sesame Street fucking songs. So you know what I used to sing my daughter?
What?
Ice Cream Man from
Ice Cream Man? That's
I'm
great.
the Ice Cream Man. So I would sing Ice Cream Man to her. And what was scary to me is when she got to be a little bit older, like when she got to be like, I don't know, 8 years old, and the song came on I had it on like one of my playlists or something like that.
Yeah.
She knew some of the lyrics. I was like, holy fuck. Yeah, because I had done it so many times, right? And I had no, she's like, where do I know that song? Oh my God, I love you so much. I did a good job. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's where she gets that from. But see, I wasn't trying to do that. My daughter can probably tell you the certain names of dinosaurs because that's what I was into, and I would get her toy dinosaur. I didn't know what else to do. My wife get her the girly shit. I really tried to get her to play 40K, but it never worked. But she did like, you know what my daughter liked? Later on, when she was about 9 or 10, maybe even younger than that. You remember Hero Clicks?
Yes.
And they were like blind buys, right? So you get a box of these things. And my routine with my wife was this. My wife worked at the hospital, and then I was working at a casino, or I was working at a liquor place or whatever. And so I would work. I had white man's hours, right? I was like 9 to 5, and that was it, And so then my wife would work on the weekends, right? She'd be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? At the hospital. So it was like we were like sharing custody of my daughter. So on Fridays, after I was done at work, I would go and pick her up from the Catholic school daycare or something like that she was at, and pick her up. And then on the way home, we'd stop at the game store and we would buy Hero Clicks. And I would hand her the box. And I say, open that box up and let me know who the characters are. And they're all superheroes. My daughter can tell you every fucking superhero and all the Marvel and DC, by the way, just from me giving her those blind, but she loved it. That was like it was a ritual on a Friday, and it only cost me like $5-7. Yeah. And so she would pull them out. And she, oh, it's the Hulk. It's like, all right. I still have every one of those Hero Clicks in a box in one of my closets, in my game closets too. So there you go. There's a daddy story for you right there. It's Hero Clicks, right? So one of my nerdy hobbies that I should have given up. Remember? Yeah, but you should give up those childish comic books until you have a kid who would really enjoy, I don't know, learning who the fucking Hulk is, right? Sometimes those things have a purpose. That's why you need to maintain polarity in your relationships, my son. Okay, here we go. Women's hobbies. Gossip travel is actually a masculine trait. Last time I checked. Okay. Gossip is bitch behavior, right? Last night she was 22 and didn't want to fuck me because I'm over 40. And why? But we did make out for 1 hour after she said she's not fucking me. Okay. Please come back to us with more. Give us a field report once you come back. He's probably said something earlier, didn't he?
That's what I'm checking right now.
My lifting playlist has Warhammer Disposal Unit on there. Great beat to lift to. What do you like to sketch, Rolo? I used to sketch xenomorphs a lot. My wife would tell you I only sketch wings and teeth. Right now, what do I do? Well, most of the time when I'm doing like art, it has a point to it. Like by the way, please go to my Sticker Mule store and you can buy my art actually, because I do all the art for the band. So all the illustrations for the t-shirts and stuff like that. I did the same thing for Trial of Ascension, although I don't know if those are up still. I've always done mostly art that I do right now is just like sketching Ned. Just like keeping my chops up more or less. But like when I have a point or purpose to it, then I'm usually doing something for the band, or I'm doing just personal stuff. I just think it's cool. Just ideas, crazy ass ideas. I would like. You probably. It's hard for me. Like I have I shouldn't say that. I have a story. I have a fiction story that I'm going to finish up as soon as I'm done with the hardback version of the first book. But I've been sketching a lot of stuff out for that because I'm kind of plotting out. I'm doing the outline of like, just, the progression of the plot. And so it helps me to visualize that if I can do a storyboard. So sometimes I do storyboards like that. I used to do that for Van Gogh Vodka, because we used to do kind of videos that had to go from one scene to another to another. And so the best way to do that is just to do literally thumbnails, where you're doing sketches and stuff like that. So I'll sketch like that. I don't know. Maybe one day maybe, you know what? Like, I think what I'll do is I have a sketchbook. So maybe I should just put a couple of sketches on Instagram. You've already seen my paintings in my home. So
pretty sick.
Yeah. Okay. My mom and my aunt are always complaining about men today. Surprise, surprise. I tried to combat it with some rational male, but what would your approach to own this conversation? Well, first of all, ask yourself this question. What will be the outcome of you owning the conversation? Do you think, I want them to shut up, Rolo? Walk out, go get a cigar, go down to the cigar bar, they'll shut up. Like, what's the point is what I'm saying. I know maybe this is okay. You want Rolo fatherly wisdom here? It's Father's Day. I think I have mentioned this on one or two occasions, but I can remember being a kid and seeing my grandfather on like Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and stuff like that. On my dad's side, he was actually has the same name as me. And I can remember him listening to the conversations. He was a man of very few words. He was a pretty cool dude when he did talk, but he was a man of very few words. And I didn't understand why until I got to be an adult, because you'd hear the same conversation from the same bitches all the time. And my grandfather would just do this. That's all it was. And I couldn't understand why he was just kind of like, and it was because he'd heard all this before. And he knew that if he interjected, if he tried to talk about something or had some sort of conversation, he knew right where the conversation was going to go. So really, I think the operative here is, why do you want to own the conversation in the first place? What will the material benefit be by owning the conversation? So that's number one. So if that's the case, like the complaint about men today, that's very loose. That's very ambiguous. I would need to know specifically what they're talking about. Then I might be able to tell you, like, oh, was because men are ruling the world or something. I don't know. I don't know what the standard, tropes or pablum, canards that are coming out of their mouths. So I would have to have more specifics. But before you give me specifics, ask yourself, why do I want to? Okay, is this going to get me laid or paid by owning the conversation? If you can answer no to both of those, who cares? So not rubbing one out has to be a way of life. No. I don't know. Are you in love with the process? We'll pick that thread up in November, and no FAP November. It won't be great. Now we can save his life because he's not jerking off anymore. This is what I'm talking about. Narcissistic and abusive mindset. This is what your red pill teaches you. My red pill teaches you. How is that narcissistic? What's narcissistic and abusive?
Oh, there's more. There's so many messages that she's put in.
What? But I'm honestly curious.
Here, I'll find it.
I'm swear to God, I'm honestly curious. Hold on, while you do that, let me get to this one. Women love me more when they see that they're. Tell this bitch to call in at the call-in show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Women love me more when they see that there's chicks that are willing to take her place at my side immediately. That's called passive dread, my friend. If you don't talk to bitches, I'm sorry, I keep saying bitches all the time. I come back from Miami and I talk like that. You lose the ability to talk to bitches. Patrice O'Neill. True. If you don't talk to bitches, you lose the ability to talk to bitches. Funny you should say that, because a lot of the guys in Reignite forgot how to talk to bitches. That's really the basic point of Reignite. learning how to talk to bitches again. Yeah, I mean, but see, okay, so the first part of your thing there, that's passive dread. There's overt dread and there's covert dread, or there's active dread and passive dread. Active dread is an ultimatum. Active dread is try hard. Your active dread is you trying to manufacture social proof. That never fucking works, because women will. It's cringe. It's cringe to me, man. Yeah, it's
gotta come natural.
It's got to come natural, and it has to seem like it's not. You're not trying to. God, I'm glad you brought this up, because this is actually a point in my notes today. I had an exchange on Twitter. I think it was in response to my latest article, which is Lessons for My Son, which I am going to read to you really quickly here. But some chick had come at me and go, "This is just manipulative game playing, blah blah blah." You know, because one of the lessons was, never give the impression that you're trying. Like, don't be a try hard. That's really what the whole thing implied. But they take it this way, like, well, you're trying to be something you're not. You're trying to manipulate, trying to play games. And I'm like, that's not playing games. What I'm saying is, like, don't look like you're trying to pick up girls, but don't look like you're trying to pick up girls, right?
It's an art,
right? Don't. I've been meaning to ask you this. Okay, in my first book, there's a very small, very brief chapter. It's only like maybe 2 or 3 pages long. Okay, it's called "Dijo sin hablando." Does that mean to speak without having spoken, or speak without speaking?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Dijo sin hablando.
Yeah, dijo sin hablando.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like speak. Basically, your intent without intending.
Speak
right? Yeah.
without
Intent.
speaking without intent. Right. Okay. So I got that from a beer commercial. Actually. I think it was like a Dos Equis or something. But no, what it was is speak without speaking. Like say, be able to communicate without saying that what it is. Like, being able to communicate something without having to say it.
Exactly.
Right? And what it is it's like sort of this essay, or it's very, very brief. How to, like, one of the things I talk. It's Iron Rule of Tomasi #1, which is frame. Always control the frame, and then there's a second part to that, which is, but never give the impression that you're trying to control the frame. And people, like, even fucking Alex from Playing with Fire, that dude just doesn't fucking get it. Well, why would you have to, like, pretend that you're not trying to hold the frame? Because he's autistic as it with his lazy eye.
It's like, just tell me you don't know you're in it.
Just tell me. You should just say what you mean. I mean what you say. Right? It's like that. It's like direct game. You know. See, you want to know why direct game is really tough, is because there's no subtlety to it.
Not every goddamn girl is going to be right.
Well,
right,
that's funny
right?
you should say that, because, like, I was telling Mike, I said, there's going to be girls that you lose because you went with direct game that you probably could have got with had you gone with the indirect game, and vice versa too, by the way. But it's just knowing the difference between those two. But the thing is like, I think that's a real. I think it's sort of an underserved, like, red pill aware concept, truth, I guess, which is, like, remember, here's a good illustration of what I'm talking about. Dijo sin hablando, speak without speaking, right? Remember that one image of that guy who did the before and after when he was, like, working out and he got his body in? So the before picture was him, like, kind of sitting like this, and he has the dad body. He's he's just chubby and he's just a little thick, right? He's not, like, I mean, not hopeless by any means. And then, like, they showed, like, the 8 weeks progression, and maybe he's on gear, I don't know. But then he's like this, he's double biceps, and he's, like, hey, ladies, here's the after picture, right? And the fact that he's doing this, they hate that, because he's trying to flex.
If you look at, like, People's Magazine or all this other stuff, you see the pictures that they take of these celebrities, and they, they'll put, oh my God, look at his body or whatever. It's never them flexing.
Yeah.
Always them in a walking position. It's just their body's natural.
Right. And then they go, oh my God, that Derek Zoolander's so hot right now.
You know the picture they used for Henry Cavill when he's in what do you call the Superman? Where he's all yoked up, taking the shirt off of the closing hanger.
Oh yeah, the clothes hanger shirt.
He's not trying there.
No, he's just walking. He's just walking, and he's got the fucking he's a unit, and he's got that's what women think of dad body.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, that's a trend bot is what that is. But yeah, and then but what I meant is that the thing is which ladies, which one do you find more attractive, right? Yeah. Of course they're going to find the one where he's kind of like, at rest and sort of relaxed and everything. He's not trying because he knows he's fat, right? But he's not trying. But when he's proud of his accomplishments, check out these guns, bitch. Like that seems like he's trying to manufacture pre-selection. If you don't want what is it? Did you get your tickets
to the gun
show?
Got 2 pythons right here, baby.
Yeah.
They legal.
Yeah. Almost got arrested today. For what? Walking around with these guns. Sure. Right. That guy's trying to manufacture pre-selection, right? Chicks, take this. And what's the first thing guys say? Well, more guys actually ask me about my stack than like women actually come on to me. Well, here's the thing. That is true. I can speak from firsthand, experience. Like when I started getting yoked up a little bit more, guys would come and say, "Hey, what's your routine, man? What are you doing? What's your stack? What are you doing?" Right? Because they want to know. Because they like when women see a hot chick, they feel threatened by that chick. I'll never measure up to her. A guy sees I see Alvaro, I go, dude, what are you fucking doing, man? Are you a personal trainer? Because I want to fucking look like you, right? And guys like, cool, yeah, sure, I'll show you how to do it, right? But the thing is that he's trying, and anytime it looks even a hint that you're trying to impress, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. Like if you look at the Instagram photos that Mike, like, he's got a whole section in MOA about how to curate your pictures in Instagram and what's effective psychologically, why it's effective, right? And none of them are, hey, check out my 6-pack. Nothing's like that. It's always the guy in by himself, very well dressed, not in gym gear or anything like that. Maybe the Bugatti's over here, or maybe there's a motorcycle.
A natural walking pose.
Shit, some of these guys just have pickup trucks, right? But it's a natural walking pose. It's by themselves. So that the dude's single, right? Maybe they're with their dog,
holding a bag.
Yeah, or they're smoking smoking a cigar. Trying, you're trying. What are you trying? You're trying to look like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and Commando.
Stogies, come on now.
Yeah, because you're trying. If it looks like you're trying, you're fucked. That's what I'm talking about when I say hold frame. Like frame is everything. Never always control the frame. But never look like you're trying to hold the frame. That is a very important part of that rule. You can't look like you're trying to. It has to look natural. Hey, you have frame because it's authentic and it's really who you are. You don't have to try. I keep saying, when we talk about amuse mastery, it's so much easier if you actually have mastery. You have amuse mastery. Yeah, you do. You know why? Because you actually are a master. You actually have that quality. It's authentic to you, right? When you do agree and amplify, it's so much easier if you have the confidence to pull that shit off. And the guys who do agree and amplify the best are the guys who don't even think twice about it because they're not trying. How can I'm going to tell you something so over the top you're never going to believe it, bitch. Well, the thing is if that's your mentality, you're trying. Women hate tryhards. Women hate the trying. That's why, men must become, women just are. Women don't care about your struggles. They care about, they wait at the finish line and they fuck the winners. You know why they do that? Because those guys aren't trying. They're not struggling anymore.
They're not doing
it's a turnkey affair, right? They don't have to do anything. They don't have to try because they are already done. It's already natural. So what this guy should, I got to give you the counter example. What this guy should have done is instead of doing the double bicep, the most muscular thing, right? Or doing these tries, instead of doing that, I've got another story for you. Instead of doing that, he should have just shown himself in maybe a loose, or maybe a fitted shirt or something like that. And him just walking at the beach, right? Or him walking, I don't know, to his car or something like that. Just do that. And like, hey, here's the maybe don't even do a before and after. But if the guy wanted if the point was to go from being this fat fuck to being a guy who's like in better shape, he's dropped down to more or less like 13-12% body fat, right? If the guy drops down to that, if the point is that he wants the attention of women, you don't go,
I'm not trying to be hot.
Yeah.
I just am.
There's a clip for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was going to say this. Have you ever been to? But of course you have. Have you been to like Home Depot?
Yeah.
And you go to the checkout where you like the self checkout thing, and you do things,
Scanning
and the whole
scanning.
time you have that monitor that's in front of you,
Yeah.
so that you know you're on camera because the camera's like just shooting on you the whole time.
I'm popping my traps.
I
the
do this.
entire
I do
time.
this. I went. I had to pick up these 2 big 40-pound bags of salt for my water purifier.
Yeah.
For my house. And I get up there and I scan the things in, and I know this for a fact because there's a YouTube channel or no, an Instagram channel. And it might have been, I don't know, man, might have been one of these Home Depot employees that did this, but they took those videos of the guys and they would find guys who are bodybuilder kind of guys. And then the guys would naturally do one of these things and be like,
Yeah, just flex into the camera. Yeah.
Like they do one of these
grocery
things.
store
And then
ones,
and what's funny is when another guy comes in, he goes, hey, they start doing a pose down. Like one's trying to get in front of the other one. Oh man, it's funny as fuck. So naturally now every time I'm at Home Depot, it's like ready for a pose down. Here we go. Okay, is this what I'm supposed to look at? Red pill are demonizing women as a species. You mean our species? The human species? Anyway, good luck with this BS. What's BS? I will keep my 2 sons away from this ideology. Well, that's your first mistake because it's not an ideology. Do you want feminized boys? Do you want your boys to be weak?
This is what she thinks right here.
What is it? Oh, wait, throw it up there. Excuse me, I gotta look at this. Red pill tells you that all women are following their hypergamy. Well, yes, but there's a little more nuance to it than that. They will divorce or leave you as soon as alpha. See, this is a dude. I can tell you right now, this is a dude, because if you're writing ALFA, you're a dude. Because guys who want to criticize alpha males, they always spell it alfalfa. So I've seen guys spell it alfalfa too. All right, let's just give her the benefit of the doubt though. Alpha man comes along, that all women are partying, fucking around. Absolutely not. And this is misogynistic crap. Okay, well, I can't do anything about, where did it go? Jesus Christ. I haven't done this in a while. Oh, there it is.
Misogyny.
I can't do anything about misogyny. Okay. That is what it is. That's your God card right there. So anything I say is going to be misogyny. But let's go back to your first premise. Red pill tells you that all women are following their hypergamy. Well, hypergamy, from a red pill perspective, is kind of like a subroutine that is running in the back of women's sort of cognitive process. It's part of, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's just part of women's nature. It's an evolved part of women's mental firmware. Okay. So yeah, why wouldn't it be? I don't have it. That's the thing is, people are either too happy or they're too fucking pissed off at hypergamy. If you're on the sharp end of the stick, these women are just exercising their hypergamy. Wah. You know why? Because you're selected out and other guys aren't. That's why. So, darling, what's her name? Saddam 23. Are you 23 years old? So here's the thing is hypergamy is not good or bad. It just is. It's only good in the sense that, like, hey, she chose me because I'm the highest value man that she has available to her. Maybe I want to get with her, maybe I don't. Okay. Hypergamy is what it is. So it's not a social construct. It's not something women turn on and off. It's not that she's more hypergamous than the other one. No. Mm-mm. Your grandmother spread her legs for sailors. I gotcha, Ryan.
Gotcha, bitch.
Your grandmother spread her legs for sailors. Your mom spread her legs for someone at Woodstock, you probably spread your legs for someone else, right? I don't care. Like, it is, that's nature doesn't care how the babies are born. It cares that the babies are born. That's technically hypergamy. And there's nothing like, I don't have a problem with hypergamy. I know people do, like, especially if you're black pill or you're sort of one of these doomer guys, like that's their, well, what's the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a feature, not a bug. Exactly. We're the apex species on this planet because of hypergamy. And that's a good thing. It's actually been a benefit to humankind for a long time. I don't understand why, like, people but I do understand, because if you're selected out, and most men are selected out. What is it? I forget the article. Oh, the article is 17 women for every one man reproduced 8,000 years ago, just as little as 8,000 years ago, according to the genomic record. And that's also eliminating like warfare and everything else, right? Now, because of agriculture in modern times and industrialization of society, it's down to about 7 per 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe maybe it's 8 per 1 now because of feminism and all the modern shit. Okay. Oh, by the way, I also saw recently, congratulations, marriage proponents. The marriage rate right now, as of 2025, is 5.8 per 1,000. All right. Well done. We beat the 6.1. Brad Wilcox, marriage sells, but who's buying? Apparently nobody, unless you're like sort of rich and elite, and because that's what marriage is for. It's for elites. You could, like, women don't want to get, that's hypergamy for you. Women don't want to get with losers. Why do you want would you want your kids to be losers? Do you want them to be on the do you want them to be a 4? I mean, I would presume that why wouldn't you allow your sons to understand just the basics of hypergamy and act accordingly? You would want them to be like, here's the funny thing is like, even liberal, wokesy, progressive mindsets still lock in with hypergamy.
Mm-hmm.
They just do it in a different way. They just think that a high value man is the guy who's just sensitive and vulnerable and
accepts
and yeah, exactly. It does what mommy tells. He's the high effort dad, right? Mm-hmm. He's high effort dad.
The workhorse.
Do you want to get with low effort dad? Do you think low effort dad would be a better option than high effort dad? I mean, it's basic fucking math, man. Well, as I was saying before, so even liberal, wokesy, progressive, like that side of the ideological spectrum, even that side of all of this still locks in with hypergamy. You just do it in a different way. You just think that a high value man is a vulnerable guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve, cries on demand, pees sitting down, and it talks about his feelings at a drum circle somewhere, or maybe in some sensory deprivation tank or at a men's group or some shit like that, right? That's a high value dude. Well, if that's a high value, if that guy's a 9, I want to get with him. He knows he's emotionally available. It's still on a hierarchy. You're still getting to that guy. And maybe according to your definition, the guy who is like Johnny Bravo, he's a 4. Until you fuck him, and you'll fuck him, and then you'll still say that you want to get with the guy who's emotionally available. What's funny to me is like I've talked, and this is pretty common, not just me, but I'm sure other people have experienced this as well. It's like you'll have dyed-in-the-wool feminists who will say, hey, I wish I could get with a more masculine dude. Fuck, even Richard Reeves' wife told him he needed him to fucking butch up. Told him, like, he couldn't believe it. Like, I have the video. I'll show you the video. I've showed it many times on this show. Even Dr. Richard Reeves, who is a fellow at the Brookings Institute, his wife, his dyed-in-the-wool feminist wife, told him, I need you to be more masculine. Is hypergamy a feature or a bug? He's got 2 sons too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to Dr. Richard Reeves. I hope he's a dad too, so he gets this. There you go. Okay, so the second part of this is they will divorce or leave you as soon as an alpha man comes along. No, that's actually, I literally have an essay called Hypergamy, the Misconceptions. And the first article in that is hypergamy is not a straitjacket. And that's the straitjacket that I'm talking about, is that it's unavoidable. Like as soon as Brad Pitt or Alan Ritchson walk in the room, she's going to take me now, Rich. Fuck me hard. I want your baby. That's a black pill doomer, like over the top stupid bullshit. Like go talk to MGTOW's MRAs and black pill guys, because that's not red pill. But I don't even want to wipe that off on them. That's even the most stupid, dumb doomer incel shit that there is. Okay. But the point being this is that hypergamy is not a straitjacket. So by the way, the woman who is, let's say a woman who's a 7, she gets with a guy who's a 7.5. Does that mean that woman is going to 2 years later, 3 years later, when she's a 6, is she going to be able to get with the 8?
Yeah.
No, she's not, because she's lower on the value. Can that girl? Thank you for that. That's the timeline, but that's okay. Can that girl get if she puts the same girl? You get with, gentlemen, black pill doomer incel guys. You get with the girl who's a 7. She's hottest. 7 is the hottest you've ever got, right? Mike Sartain says most guys have never gotten with a 4. And I hate to say, I think he might be right. But let's just say, for sake of argument, a miracle happens. You got with a 7, right? You're worried that she's gonna get with an 8 or 9 or 10. Might actually show him. He's drunk and she's cute, and she's like, fuck it, I'll just fuck her this time, right? You're worried about that. First of all, I don't think too many guys are worried about that. Second of all, even if you are worried about that, say you've been with this chick, she's a 7 now, you've been with her 2 years, and she put on 20 pounds. Is she a 7?
No.
Is she going to get with Alan Richardson?
Fuck no.
No. Guess what happened? She slipped down 1. Even just 1 notch. Even just 1. Imperceptibly. You might even, don't worry, girl. I still want to fuck you. You still look good with that extra. I like a big booty. I don't, but maybe plenty of other people do.
I do.
You do. Thank you. No. You know that the thigh gap is the true definition of a woman. But anyways, the point being this is like, conditions change. Okay, how about this? She's a 7, you're a 7 too, and you're worried, oh my God. But guess what? Now you start training with Hide Yamagishi, and you do a gram of tren every week, and you are doing heavy ass weights, and look, 6 months, 8 months later, you are yoked, and you look better than you've ever looked in your life, and you made a partner in the law firm, and now you're making more money, or your business goes crazy, and you're making some good cash and everything. Are you still a 7? No, you probably might be an 8.
Yeah.
You don't think you are, but globally speaking, sexual market.
I don't feel like an 8.
I don't feel like an 8, but you are. So now is she going to fuck Alan Richardson? Oh yeah, of course, because he's a 9. But what I'm saying is those conditions fluctuate. It's especially for women, man. Like as women age,
monkey branching doesn't
click.
come out of nowhere.
Tick. That's hypergamy. Right? Now, can women look good at 40? Absolutely. Just go look at Kindly Myers. That woman is 40. She's almost 42. 41. She'll be 41 in October. That chick looks better than 90% of like 25-year-old chicks that I've seen. And she is just a smoke show hot, right? Probably because she has no kids. But it's not a physicality thing. It's a mental thing. The 41-year-old Kindly Myers cannot compete on the same level in the same sexual marketplace as the 23-year-old Kindly Myers. That's the point. And so those are the things you don't want to hear, though. That's why you get blanket statements like this bullshit, right?
It's not attractive.
It's
reality.
Not. Yeah. I didn't tell you it would be pretty. I just told you it would be the truth. But that's a problem, is you don't want to know the fucking truth. That's it. Same thing with his other sons of Gates, whatever the fuck this guy is, a bald-headed dude who's I'll show you his video here in just a second. He was coming at me for Father's Day shit or whatever the fuck it was. He comes out with some cock and bull. Let me pull that out. Some bullshit AI generated response to something I got, because he was talking shit about like those red pill guys and added my name to it because he wanted some fucking attention. So I gave him some fucking attention. I gave him the fucking attention he wanted. He didn't want it now. And then he writes, I should say ChatGPT writes, ChatGPT, find me all of the counter reasons that I can get Rollo Tomasi on for red pill stuff. Like, give me the counter arguments to this, and this. And so, like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, do I want to respond to this? Because it's like this fucking wall of text. Nobody's reading it except for my dumb ass, right? And I'm like, yeah. I said, next time you respond to me, maybe you don't want to use ChatGPT. I didn't use ChatGPT. You just don't have any counter arguments. Okay, asshole. You asked for it, and I gave it to him. I went fucking article by article by article by article. And I want to tell you right now, if you're a critic of the red pill, I take her fucking thing off there. If you're a critic of the red pill, Gates, whatever the fuck your name is, or anybody else for that, especially if you're a TradCon guy, and you're going to use ChatGPT or you're going to use, I don't know, Grok or whatever else, if you're going to use some sort of, fucking AI crutch to come at me, I will tell you right now, I will fucking destroy you. Because you know why I will destroy you? Because I've been doing this longer than anybody else in this whole fucking niche. And I will destroy you also because, you know why? Because AI has no fucking clue what the manosphere is, just like you don't. That's why you relied on it in the first place. That's why you resorted to AI to make it seem like you knew what the fuck you're talking about. And then you go, well, you don't have any counter arguments. Then when I do, I own your ass. And that's exactly what I did. And there's no reply. Oh, no, I shouldn't say. There was one last reply. You know what it was? Well, we just have a difference of opinion. You keep doing what you do, and I'm just going to follow God and the Lord, and my family will follow the example of Jesus Christ. God card. It's a Pokemon card, right? It's a trap card. Yeah. Win every argument automatic before the argument begins.
Exodia.
Yes.
It's gone.
Win the game before it starts. That's all it is. You're weak. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. You're confident in your own fucking ignorance. And when you use ChatGPT, I'm going to fucking call it out. And you know what? Everybody else was like, dude, you just fucking owned this guy. I'm like, yeah, it took me 20 minutes to do it. And I had to go point by point by point, but I'm not arguing him. You know who I'm arguing with? I'm arguing with ChatGPT, who hopefully is going to read this the next time I go, okay, now I got to think of some new counterpoints, right? Because ChatGPT doesn't know me.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like, well, the red pill, one of the points was the red pill doesn't teach you how to have a 50-year marriage. I'm like, how about a 30-year marriage, fuckwit? I've been married longer than Jeremy Boring, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles. I don't know, definitely Andrew Clavin, because I know he's been married twice. Name your fucking champion. Is this your king? How long has your king been married? Like, don't give me that horse shit. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking do what it's my fucking. But it's my 30th anniversary. Expect hell. Expect hell. Because I'm going to give it to you on fucking, it'll be on Instagram, of course. Rolo's coming and hell's coming with him. Because I am sick to fucking death of you fucking grifters, of you gentle manosphere hacks, you anti-fucking manosphere hacks who think Louis Theroux and Andrew Tate, who is going to jail very fucking soon, and so is Tristan Tate. And I don't feel too bad saying that now because I know they are going. Once they're gone, who are you going to beat up? Who's going to be your boogeyman then? UK. How are you going to get $20 million for the UK school system once he's in a Romanian jail somewhere? I don't know. Break him out. They'll break him out with the Black Hawk helicopters, right? So, what are you going to do? But I thought that was a really interesting experience because I knew it was AI, and I think everybody else was calling it out as some sort of AI thing because it was so riddled with very obvious errors. Mm-hmm. And it was written very well, don't get me wrong, but it was premised on stupid, very obvious. Anybody who's been in the manosphere even 4 or 5 years knows it's bullshit. And so I went and I showed point by point how it's all bullshit. No, God card. End of conversation. Congratulations. Enjoy your life, man. Late in the chat, experienced my first real hate from a local influencer here in Kansas City. Yes, give that man a fucking prize. Kansas City Red Pill represent, working on the best way to deal with it. He is threatening me by shutting me down so no one will work with me. What do you do? How is he shutting you down? If you're going to ask me shit like that.
Got to give more context.
You know what? Who is this? Martin Pierce. Save that question for the call-in show because I need more detail. when it comes to this. Like, how do I deal with this guy? Here's what you do. You say, okay, use Socratic method. I think this is, okay, my sons, here's a lesson for you. It's easier to ask questions and lead the witness. That will always be the easiest way you might not win an argument automatically, but if you ask questions that they don't have easy answers for, and everybody's kind of like waiting around for the answer, and it makes them look like idiots. And it makes it look like you just asked some stupid question that a child could like actually come up with. Usually asking questions and leading that it's what I call leading the witness, right? You ask the questions, trap questions, basically. If you can ask a trap question, then it doesn't even have to be that. But if you ask the right questions and you push them in the right direction, then you can sort of get an idea like where it's all coming from, right? So from a local influencer here. Who's the local influencer? And what's the beef? What is your red pill and this guy's not? I mean, I would need more information on it, honestly. And I'm going to try to blow you off or anything, but I need more details because I would need to know how he's hating on you, but to give you some sort of like direction of what I would do. But, congratulations, because if you have a hater, it means you're important enough to hate. Keep grinding until your haters ask if you're hiring. How is the answer to modern women being slowers? God, that's a great word.
Well, I'm a
Slower. From becoming a slore maker. First, stop calling them slores because that makes you look like an idiot. Okay, I wouldn't even call chicks whores. I would just say transactional.
Sexually inclined.
Sexual commercialization. No, that's what they are, Rolo. That's like the John Zerka school of red. They're slurs. What do you do with hooders? You toss them overboard and let the sharks eat them. Rolo, I'm 31 and have only cold approached one girl. Yeah, that sounds about right. Trying to get into the game. Am I cooked at 31? I wish I was 31. Fuck yeah! I'll tell you what. We'll trade ages. Yeah. You're cooked. You could be 58. I'll take your 31. Is that okay? God, I wish. Trying to get into the game. Am I cooked? No, you're not cooked. Going to be in Vegas next week in Fremont. Thoughts? Yeah, don't go to Fremont. Go to, where should we send him? Sahara? No, Resorts World. Go to Resorts World. That's where Zook is. Go to Zook. Yeah. Well, either go. Yeah, Zook is a good place. Resorts World would be a good.
Jewel.
Maybe he can only afford.
Jewel Thar, yeah.
How close can you get to Sapphire?
That's Resorts World. Yeah,
that is kind of it is
really
closer there. I would go. I would stop. I would not stand anywhere near Fremont. That would be the first thought.
Here you
go. Go to clubs. I think. Let me just explain something to you. The hooker, I love the hooker too, but the stripper doesn't love you. And probably the club girl too. But here's the thing. The stripper doesn't love you. The club girl doesn't love you. And the escort doesn't love you either. So you go for broke, my friend. You already know. If that's the game, then you play ball. Like, what do they say? They're all crazy. So pick the hottest one.
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go. Rolo is a high effort, low effort wife. The type of woman who does not allow her husband to invite his friends over to hang out in his man cave. Well, if you have a man cave, odds are you're probably a low effort husband to begin with. Rolo, that's the same one. Hey, what do you say? I should have. Are you like getting like the hater comments?
No, that is from the comment that we pulled up earlier where he couldn't fuck the chick.
Oh, I should have just kept insisting that I was 39. Dude, 39, 40, potato. Oh, well, the problem of going out solo in a rave party at 47. You know what I saw? It was on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might have been one of those stupid, like, reaction
skits.
It's no, this just in, breaking news. And it's got those little icons, breaking news on the side of it. So that's so you know it's important. Well, what is it? What is it? And then it said something like, more people over the age of 50 are going to raves. Like 40 and 50 is becoming a demographic for people to go to raves. So it's not just, what's funny is they probably were going to raves earlier than they're still there. That's how long it's been. Yeah. So it's okay to buy that ticket to EDC next year. No one will judge you. That's what's funny to me is like, I'm 58 years old and I'm still in really good shape. So if I go to Hellfest, I don't look out of place at Hellfest, right? Shit, I don't even. You see, do you know what they wear at EDC, dude? I would have a problem fitting in at fucking EDC.
Yeah, most of the time, most dudes would be shirtless.
If I was into that kind of stuff,
Tank top.
I'd rather go on to. I'd rather jump in a pit you can see from orbit. Yeah, it's again, dude. I know that by saying this, people are going to go, "Oh, he's trying to still be 14 years old." I'm 58. Mike's 48. Sterling Cooper is 38. Hell, we found this out. Justin Wallace 41, 40, something like that. How old's your brother?
Miguel is 34.
34 years old.
34, 35.
Oh, he's 40. Okay, Justin just turned 40. And let's see. Maya Sofield is 25, 24.
She's 24. She's just
24.
Right?
Yeah, she just turned 24.
Yeah.
All right. I talk to her all the time. She's fantastic. We actually have a lot in common. We talk. She likes old 80s because she was brought up right by her dad, man. Fucking into the 80s music. She loves Def Leppard. Thanks, Dad. Brought up right, just like my daughter was. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. But the point is this: is I what is it? The singer in my band is my son-in-law. He is 30 years old. The drummer in my band is Jake Cope, who gets more tail than a fucking whatever. Jake the Snake is 45, 44. Ricky, our bass player, want to say he's I think he's Mike's age. I think he's 48 years old. And Ricky's girlfriend is 29 years old. Does anybody fucking care? Nobody fucking cares, man. No one cares. I talk to Michi just like I talk to Jake, like I talk to Ricky, like I talk to Mike, like I talk to you, like I talk to your brother. Yeah. No one cares. No one cares about your fucking age. No one cares. Stop it. And you know when people stopped caring was when the internet went big, when social media became a thing. I can go put filters on my face right now that would make me look like I'm 19 fucking years old. Would you believe it? No. But no one cares. What was the Japanese chick who was like something like she was in her 50s or something, and then the filter clicked off for a second, and she's trying to be like this 12-year-old girl, and suddenly she's 50. You know what? The filter came right back on. She didn't miss a beat. No one cares, especially now, like age-wise. If I was 70 or 80 or hell, one of my best friends is Robert Kiyosaki. He's like almost 80 years, like 79. Is he? Yeah, 79 years old. Fucking A. I've known him a long time. I still hang out with, I'll go hang out with him. He says, hey, come on out to Scottsdale. I'm like, fuck, send me the jet. I'll get on the jet anytime you want. Rollo's really popping off today. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you the fucking truth. Age is just a number, bro. No, it's not just a number. It's just like you're only as old as the people that you hang out with. And you know what? When we have a globalized social media, like when everybody's interconnected, you don't know that if I go and I play Diablo Immortal, which by the way is God, I'm sorry. It's my sedation now. Nobody on there knows that I'm Rollo Tomasi or that I'm 58 years old. They only know that I'm the character that comes in and goes and fights the war. I do the PvP wars. They don't care as long as I show up, man. And then I hang out. I talked about my Greyhounds. I love that game because the clan that I'm in, they don't know me from fucking Adam. So it's kind of liberating, honestly, you know.
Fosters a community.
Yeah, it's a community, right? They don't care how old you are. Rollo, we never get any respect as fathers. My daughter is now 16 now, has a 3.5 GPA. Very good. Hey, yeah, there you go. Freshman year high school, and because I work a lot, I'm not a father according to the ex, I guess. The term is fair weather father. Yeah, you can tell your ex to go fuck her. You know what? Here we go. Here on the show, go fuck yourself.
You know one thing I will say? My father worked a fuck ton, right? I didn't have my father being there for every goddamn thing in my life, but at the end of the goddamn day, I respected him for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So okay, maybe it's time for these stories here. Let me get the last two. We're almost done here. I got to bounce, folks. Once happy again. Oh, happy Father's Day again. So all the dads, especially the ones who've been through the family court racket. Yeah. Oh, speaking of stories. And then who's this? I'm doing red carpet host stuff. There you go. Now suddenly you're doing.
No, that's from the comment earlier about the Kansas City.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. You're only as old as how late you can stay out. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, you are. Okay. Yes. Like Mike always gives me shit about that too. Like, oh, Rolly, we'd invite you, but you have to go, you have to go to bed early. I'm like, what 1 a.m.? Well, because I have a really fucked up sleep schedule. I'm not going to lie, but it's primarily because I have to be on social media. I have to be on social media from 7 a.m. until probably about 9:30 or 10 a.m. Pacific time, because add 3 to all those numbers, and now you know why. Because that's when I do my primary promoting of my brand, my books, everything else, because that hits all time zones in my prime demographic. Thank you very much. Then I have to wait until 11 p.m. because that's when everybody's coming out, and that's when I hit Instagram, because everybody's, hey, look at my gram, especially on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday nights on Instagram, 11 to 1. Okay. So just because I'm not traipsing around to Resort World at 1 a.m. doesn't mean I'm not busting my ass and staying up late. But grind until you can't grind no more. But I was fine. I always tell Mike, I said, I work swing shift and you work graveyard shift. That's basically how it works for us. So, but I do understand what he says. He has this one video that says, if you want to get laid, you have to stay up late. And I know he's talking to a different demo. That's not me and my demographic, but it would still be correct.
Yeah, I'd probably say the likelihood of you fucking someone.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
You're gonna have to because the chicks don't come out until the 11 o'clock is early.
Yeah,
the prime time is 1 to 2 a.m. Miami, dude. I was up until 5 a.m. In Miami, not because of the white party. I actually stayed pretty late that time, but because we were doing Fresh and Fit. And I looked at my phone. I'm like, holy shit, it's like 4:30 in the morning. We need to end the show. But they didn't miss a beat. Because Mike goes to bed at 6 a.m. Right? That's why I was like, I know not to try to text Mike until noon or 1, because I know I'm not going to get a response. Or I have to be very careful, because if I text Mike right before I go to bed, I'm about to sleep at 11 p.m., he will just talk my ear off. I'm like, I gotta go to bed, man. Do one of these things. But anyways, I kind of wanted to close out the show with this for you. So what was your dad like? Miguel's dad like? What was the Munoz, Mr. Munoz like?
Hard. I mean, he was a hard man, working aspect.
Was he a first generation immigrant?
Yeah, okay. First generation. I mean, I'm first generation born here.
Born
right?
here, yeah.
So we all came from basically a very poor town
in Mexico,
okay. Mountainous region in Jalisco, about hours away from the capital, very in the mountains.
Don't worry, they're here legally. ICE is not.
We all have papers,
here, especially now. Especially Miguel, yes, they're all here legally.
So, honestly, it was just a hard, quiet, I guess, right? He wouldn't really talk to us about things that you would normally would think, I would say, the white American dad would talk about to their son, right? We didn't really get that. There was a big difference between not only just culturally, but also like economically where he grew up. His experience doesn't convert to mine. But at the end of the day, he would always push me to not only work hard, not only go out to go dance with a girl, literally goad me, like say, yo, you're a bitch, pretty much in Spanish, right? It's like if you're not going out to go dance with a girl, breaks that shit out of you, you know? But he was great because at the end of the day, he set the example. He set the bar for a father. He set a bar for not only just providing, but being there, helping. What Sartain says, fixes problems.
Right.
When I had a problem, I would go to my dad, and my dad would help me.
Yeah, that's funny because that's what Mike always says. He says, I show my love to my friends by helping them solve their problems. I'm
exactly.
Like, that's fucking right. Well, and the other thing, and Mike really touched my soul because Mike is real with me. Like, I don't think people really understand like Mike when he's off the camera. And like, for instance, when I had my surgery, when I realized I had to have surgery, dude, I was not in a good way. I realized I was still here and doing the show and everything else, but like, you know, I'm thinking, oh fuck, man, this is kind of like, because it wasn't like so much the surgery itself. I knew I could survive the surgery. I was joking around. I got to start my will, but it wasn't that. It was like people don't know this about me. When I was 13, I had a benign tumor here in my gut region, and it was a birth tumor. Okay. Meaning that it was a twin that I would have had because there's like little bones and stuff. It was really gross. But apparently it's something that's fairly common. You absorb it, right? And so they took out, they said it was about the size of a grapefruit was the size of the thing. And, but for 1 week I was on the cancer list because they thought I had cancer. But remember, this is back in like the early 80s, like 81, Detection 82. Is a lot, right? Yeah. And they cut me, right? And you're 13 years old. And now I'll just be real with you guys. This is kind of where's my gnarly?
Oh, gnarly.
Okay, so this is a gnarly story. So when I had the surgery, I was in the hospital probably for like 2 weeks, I think. And my mom and my dad had already split up. And my mom had oddly enough, it was right at the time where my mom and dad, their divorce was final. And because they've been divorced, really, they got separated when I was like 9, but they weren't like officially completely 100% divorced. I was like 12, right? And then my mom I remember my dad actually bought out my mom's interest in the house, right? So she had all this money. So what does she do? She goes on a fucking cruise to Hawaii, right? I told you my mom. I love my mom, but she's a ditz. Okay, she's a lovable ditz, but she was a ditz, right? And so remember, there's no cell phones, there's no, there's no communication with the boat or anything like that, right? So I'm literally getting cut open, having a tumor pulled out of my guts, and then they sew me back together. My dad is I was raised by my dad. I was me and my brother and my dad, and I was sewn back up, and I couldn't go back to school obviously because I was still recovering, but I was at home. And dude, I can remember waking up in the morning and like looking at like this, and I looked like Frankenstein.
Staples,
and it was just me. Because my dad's at work, my brother's at school.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Fuck," And I was like really kind of wigged out and everything. And I remember about a week later, my mom calls on the phone, and I answered the phone, and she thought I was ditching school. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Let me tell you a thing." Yeah, she lost her shit, man. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I knew when like last August, September, that I was going to get cut again in the same fucking place, right? And then I had a bag and everything else, all that other clusterfuck. It wasn't the actual thing. It was the fact that I was like, now I look completely different. I'm going to look this way till the rest of my life. And I realize it's just a scar and actually looks kind of cool because it looks like a knife wound. That's what I'm going to tell people. But my dad, during that time, the only time I've ever in my life saw my dad cry was when I was on the cancer list. That 1 week, like one day, and that was it. My dad never really showed emotion. Like I could hug my dad and give him a kiss on the cheek and stuff like that. It was, he wasn't Mr. Spock, right? But I don't think I had ever. I've never seen my dad drunk. And I know because he used to drink wine, but he would stop at a certain point. And he developed that because his parents, like his mom and his dad, they were still together too, by the way. They used to drink, but they would only have one like finger of scotch or something like that at the end of the day. That was it. And so he carried that. I've never seen him drunk. I've never seen him out of control, which was weird because then he actually passed away from complications of Alzheimer's. So when my dad started losing his mind, it was like, wow, like, is this my dad? My dad was very, I don't say stoic. He wasn't really stoic. He was a Delta male, as I said before. He just did what was required of him. He did what was appropriate. He was very practical. Like, you want to know where I get my sort of rational side from? My dad was, for the longest time, my dad was an atheist. He was, but more than that, he was like a skeptic, right? So he was like, he wouldn't believe shit, you know? And I never really fully adopted that, but I got my critical thinking skills from my dad for sure, right? I got my sort of spiritual side and my sort of like emotional side from my ditzy ass mom, who was the polar opposite of my. One time I asked my dad this too, because like I was going to get married. I was about to marry my wife, right? And I can remember one time I was talking to my dad, and this is back in like '95, I think. And he was like working in the garden one time, and I was like hanging out with him. I said, I thought about this, and I go, how the fuck did my dad forgive my mom? Because my mom was like, she was religious. She came from a religious family, was just, you know, she had no real formal education. I mean, when she was younger, she looked great, right? But I asked my dad, and I looked at him because I was talking about marriage. You know, it's the only time I was actually having some kind of conversation with my dad. And I said, how the fuck did that happen? I think I might have even said that. How the fuck did you ever like, you know, get with mom? I said, what were you thinking? He stopped. He looked at me and he's like, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I was like, wisdom of dad. Holy shit, man. That was the biggest laugh I got with my dad at the time. Yeah, he started busting up too. My dad had a good sense of humor. I will give him that. But my dad was also very angry and very frustrated. So sometimes he was very abusive with me and my brother for a long time. But that was back in the day when what now passes for like child abuse was just what you did back then. You take the belt to a bare ass. That was it.
TV cable.
You learn through pain, my friend. Yeah, I got a whipping lots of times, man. But I understand what you're saying. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to sort of like wedge that into this whole sort of spiel today. Is the low effort dad, the high effort dad? You notice that the high effort dad always adheres to this emotional. He's got to figure things out. He's got to know what to do before he's asked, right? He's got to know that the kids need he's going to do the diapers because he already knows that you're really, you know, you're really strapped and stressed and everything, but you don't have to worry about him not doing it because he's already doing it. Oh, that makes you want to fuck him that much more, right? Chore play, it really works. No, it doesn't. But you'll notice that the high effort dad is always the one that aligns the best with whatever mommy's needs are, right? Whatever the emotional needs are. He's emotionally intelligent and emotionally available. Well,
happy wife, happy life.
That's what I'm going to get at right here. Is my dad was in no way emotionally available, and I don't know about your dad, but it sounds like he's probably along the same lines as my dad. But you know what? That's okay. That's fucking fine. Right. And that's the thing that gets me is like, well, you know, a real man talks about his feelings. A real man is vulnerable. A real man cries on demand. A real man, a high effort father, a real man does X, Y, and Z. A real man, a high effort father doesn't have to be told to do what a woman would already know to do, because he is a woman too. Because he has that part. He's this androgynous, complete human being, because not only is he a man, he also is a woman, because he already knows what you need before you even need to ask him to do it. That's a high effort guy. No, it's not. You're talking about a fucking personal assistant. You're talking about a nurse. You're talking about he'd make a great wife. That's why we need another chick, man. We need a girl and another wife into this fucking,
Get the groceries.
Oh, you're tired tonight? No worry.
She ain't.
Leona will take care of me. Yeah, but see, that's the thing is like what the point I'm making is that the emotional dad, the guy who's emotionally available and he's there to hug the dad. He's a good coach. Pat you on the back. You get a participation trophy. Imagine your dad giving you a participation trophy.
Fuck no, I can never, ever. You don't understand. Like I worked my ass off for him when we did. And I remember we were making these greenhouses before. And I'm working, we have like 10, 12 people there working, everybody kind of teaching me how to do stuff. My hands were bleeding and he just said, rub some dirt in.
So take a lap.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? We're coming here tomorrow.
And you're going to do it again.
Exactly.
And you're going to learn how to wax on, wax off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And but see, that would be child abuse.
Yeah, for a bunch of bitches.
That would, yeah, it would be. You know, my dad, God, okay, since we're talking story, I got so many of these.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, so when I was like, I think I was 14, and I was a freshman, maybe a sophomore, I might have been 15, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things my dad used to do is like, so when we all lived together, it was my stepmom, my dad, my stepbrother, and my brother, and then myself, right? We all had our rooms, like me, my brother, my stepbrother, and my brother, and then they had the master bedroom and everything like that. And I don't know if this is because my dad was ex-Navy or something like that.
Yeah.
But he, like, I can remember like being in high school, right? And then we're out for the summer, right? I'm like, oh, fuck, finally I can sleep in on a Saturday, blah, blah, blah. 5 o'clock, 5:30 a.m., my dad's like this on the door, like on my door. I'm like, what, is the house on fire? You know, what the fuck? What? And so I'm like, what's going on? This is an earthquake? We live in Southern California, right?
Yeah.
My dad would go, get up. Why? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. He would say, do something productive. That's all he said. Get up and do something productive, which really meant go do something. Go do yard work. That's all it really meant.
Outside.
Go outside and like rake the
Pick
leaves.
weeds.
That's really what it is pull weeds or, you know, like trim the trees or some shit like that. But my dad, just the fact that you weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know how hard it is.
Maybe it's Gen X in me, but I'm just like, I was like, what am I? It's 5:30 in the morning. I want to sleep because I just did a whole fucking semester at school.
Yeah.
And we've got this used to have a swimming pool in the place that we were at. And we actually ended up putting a hot tub later. And by the way, I did not come up from like super humble beginnings. I did not grow up in the inner city as a poor black child. I was not in any way
from the suburbs.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I actually was from I'd say a middle class family in suburban Pasadena, California. I did not live in poverty. My dad always put food on the table. My dad actually had a pretty affluent, somewhat status. He was a vice president of a hospital. Before that, he was a human resource guy. He was a human resource before chicks took that over. Men actually used to be in human resources.
Era.
Yes. He was the human resource director at St. Francis Hospital in Linwood, California. And if you know where Linwood is and what happened to that, it's right next to Watts, where the riots started in Watts. Right? Yeah, that Linwood, that's where my dad actually used to be the HR director of that hospital. And then he graduated to Torrance Memorial. And so I did not live in poverty. I lived in a very like white bread, mostly. I shouldn't say white bread because it was very multicultural in Pasadena at that time. By the way, there's Bloods and Crips. We had gang members and stuff like that. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. You know, it was what it was, right? So you're never going to hear me give you some like I'm not going to be David Goggins and give you some sort of like my come up story because there is no come up story. It's just me. Okay. But my dad was like that. And where I got a lot of my sort of like get up and go and kick ass is because I didn't want to hear this. I'm up. You get PTSD from like him beating on the door at 5 a.m. But it was because he wanted to see us doing shit.
Yeah.
Right. He just couldn't abide by us just like sleeping in.
Mhm.
Right. There was no sleep. Even to this day, like I don't really sleep in that much, but there was no sleeping in. It was always do something productive. And like I said, usually that meant like painting the house. God, you know how many times I scraped fucking paint off the house and then like had to go. I was a pretty good painter at the end of the fucking summer, right? I was the pool boy. I know how to actually use diatomaceous earth and actually, you know, like how many times, I can't even tell you how many times I vacuumed a pool before there were robots that would go down and do it for you. Yeah. Then there was guys that did this. I used to have to do that. I have a hot tub today in my house, and all the skills I learned maintaining the hot tub when back then I still do now. I used to mow the lawns. I'm very house proud as a result of that, I think. So like, I have housekeepers. Like they come in like once every other week.
Yeah, it's usually do a little.
That's a convenience from my wife.
Exactly.
Right.
You're able to afford.
My wife will water the plants, but I go out there and do all the stuff. I always have. When I was in Reno, when I lived in Cold Springs, there was because I had a huge backyard, and so it was, and then the greyhounds and everything else. So that's all that came from my dad, you know, all that stuff. But it wasn't. Hey, let's cry and have a talk.
Exactly.
It wasn't. Hey, let's go to Starbucks and catch up.
Remember, was it you? I think, you said you had some of the deepest conversations with your brother and your dad when you were working on something.
Yes, on cars. Yes.
On cars?
My dad, my brother, to this day, my brother still works on cars. So.
Exactly. I kind of had the same situation. You don't really get to talk about all this stuff or anything until you work with them.
Yeah. Because there has to be a project. There has to be a shared goal. Remember you said the goal and the process. During the process, that's when guys communicate.
And you know, one of the most informative things, at least through my years of being like a child, learning, seeing how people treat my father too, having a father's frame is so fucking important, especially in the younger years. Because when you see your dad say something to your mom and your mom listens, you don't take that just with a grain of salt. You know, that authority is there. Right. When my dad's the boss and he has all these workers and they all listen to him.
Yes.
That shit adds to it. You know, when he goes back to Mexico and he's the fucking man of the town, everybody knows him. Everyone loves him. No one treats any of us bad or in any shape, form or way or whatever. There's this kindness.
There's respect, automatic respect.
Exactly.
Yes, I get you.
But it's earned.
Right. Well, and that's, what's funny is like when Iron Rule of Tomasi, number 1, frame. Frame is everything, right? People think that that's just about getting your dick sucked, which it is, but like it can lead to that. But it's much more than that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that frame is not some red pill concept that's somebody pulled out of their ass on SoSwap forums. It is a psychological, sociological term. And so when I say, this is actually in the chapter, I said the frame that you enter into that relationship, with your, maybe someday becomes your wife, whatever, but with the woman in particular, the frame you enter into will set the theme for that relationship for the rest of that fucking relationship, right? But it's not just with the chick. It's also with the kids that might be a product of that union between you having the relationship with that one. Now, not enough people don't see far enough down the road when it comes to things like help with most of the 9 iron rules.
It's a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah, they don't see far enough down the road.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine this. Here's a really fucking great example. So I enter into a relationship with my wife. She expects me to drive the car. I've told you this story before, how she gives me the keys to her car and she expected me to drive. Why? Because her father was definitely an alpha man, old Texas dude, old guy from Texas, man. And I never connected with him until I picked up a gun. And I've never been a gun guy. I mean, I had a gun, but I was never like, hey, let's go out shooting at the range.
Yeah, it wasn't your thing.
Like that was never me. And then my mother-in-law's husband passed away, and he willed me his Bursa Thunder 9mm. And I had this gun. And I'm like, well, I've got to figure out how to use this thing, right? My father-in-law, which is my wife's father.
Yeah.
He's like, heard you got a gun. That's all it was. That's our relationship changed with that sentence right
That was
there.
his chink of in his armor.
Well, because now we have a common thing.
Yeah.
So, when we had our best, well, he's still alive, but like when we started having real conversations at the fucking gun range, when we go down and I know how, by the way, now, courtesy of my father-in-law, how to do black powder.
Okay.
And it's because he's a collector and he's like, I had no idea that my father-in-law was a history buff. He likes Civil War and World War I, that kind of stuff. But he likes guns and stuff, but he also likes the history behind the guns as well. So he said I can come and get it because he willed it to me. But he has this pistol from the mid 1800s. I think it's a Civil War era pistol that the officers used to use, but it was before the cartridge bullets, right? So you used to have to pour it, like you have this little thing, you'd put in just enough grain in like gunpowder in, and then you put I think it's wadding, and then you put flintlock, it's a basically. Ball. It's a ball of lead, and you put it literally into the carousel, into the revolver, put it together, and then you had to have and then you had to put firing pins on like firing caps on all of these things. Yep. I'm like, well, no wonder the officers got killed all the time. Yeah, 6 shots and you're dead, man. But those were fast, man, and that's how they used to do it. And now I know how to do that because he showed me how to do it, and now he's gonna give me the pistol, right? He also has muskets. He also has I know he has an old I think turn of the century hunting rifle. Like he's got a carriage gun. Yeah. Like one of the big, like they used to ride shotgun. That's what the shotgun was a carriage gun, right? I would never have known that had I not got that one burst on and say, hey, where'd you got a gun? Fuck yeah, let's go, Dad. And so we used to go when I was living in Reno. If I kind of miss it, I kind of want to go up there and go shoot again because there's this really great gun range up there. It's on BLM land. And so that's where I learned to shoot. And then later on, of course I get addicted to that because I'm a hobbyist, right? That was my hobby now. How about guns? Is guns a hobby that a guy's allowed to have, honey?
Yeah.
Is that an attractive hobby? I wonder where that is on the A to F list.
My hobby's hunting.
Yes. Hunting. Yeah. Target shooting, archery. But no, I was going to say is that became an interest that we shared and we said, hey, let's go. And so the purpose, the process, what we wanted to do was to go out and shoot and see who could get we were target shooting, obviously. Yeah. And then I got my first 22 long rifle and I picked up plinking, and that was always fun because it's kind of stupid when you got this really like expensive scope on a 22. It's like you hit every time. But so I did that. And then COVID hit and I bought my first AR as a result of that, which all of those guns are now at the bottom of Lake Tahoe. It was a tragic boating accident. I don't have any weapons whatsoever in my house. If somebody says I do, they're wrong. They're lying. Except for the firearms that I took Jake Monroe out to. And there's another thing. Pass it along, right? Jake Monroe had never shot a gun in his life because he lives in Dublin, Ireland, and they won't even let you have a sharp stick there, right? And so he came to the United States, and first thing he says is like, I want to go to a gun range. I'm like, well, you are in the right place, my friend.
Battlefield Las Vegas.
How about an automatic weapon? Yes. So we just went down, and first time he ever went to a gun range, he shot a couple of my pistols, and that was it. And I actually have the video of him like doing it because all I gave him was just like a really brief kind of run, get gun safe, what I know of gun safety, right? Yeah. And showed him stance and everything else. He picked it up immediately. In fact, I had people in my comments commenting on, it's like, damn, this is the first time he picked up a gun because you have a really good form and it looks like you know what you're doing. They couldn't believe that this is the first time he was doing it. So it's pretty good. Very, very good. Let's see. What do we got here? Top 1% physically and former model. Wife cheated in me. Ew. On me after a kid with a low tier guy. Dating a 20-year-old now. Was I just alpha fucks? With the wife?
With the wife?
Or with the 20-year-old now? Were you just alpha fucks?
I think he's talking about his wife. Basically, why was he just alpha fucks for the wife?
Well, clearly not because she married you. Did she have a kid? Did he say he had a kid? Yeah. After kid with a low tier guy. Cheated on me after kid with a low tier guy.
I think earlier he said he's a bartender too. I saw his comment somewhere.
Why are you worried? You got a 20-year-old girl who wants to suck your dick.
There we go. Here's the other
problem.
one.
Is that a problem? What was this one? Oh.
It's the same thing, but basically he never found a logical answer. I'm a bartender today, body count in the hundreds.
And? Why is this a problem? Would you like your $4.99 back?
Yes, referring to the wife.
Yeah. Oh, referring to the wife. Okay. Most likely. Well, put it this way. How old did he mention how old he is?
During that time,
she was 25. Yes, was referring to the wife. Yeah. I don't know. I would need, again, it's really hard for me to like give you diagnosis or like give you any kind of analysis, like accurate analysis if I don't have like a lot of information. But just gleaning from what I can off of what you're talking about here. Well, if you put it this way, if you can get, you're 45 and you get with a 20-year-old, yeah, you were alpha flux. Let's just say, yes, yeah. Hold on.
Hold up.
yeah. 8-Ball says you're definitely an alpha male.
Are you not entertained?
There you go. All right, we're going to end the show. We're at 3:24 right now. And the reason I'm going to do so is because I got to go home and study. You know what I have to study? Gary the numbers guy. Because against my better, like, you want to know, okay, Rolo makes bad decisions. Yes, this is what probably going to be one of them. I'm going to go do I want to call it a debate. It's not really a debate. But it's you know how like Jubilee does those 10-on-1 things?
yeah, those panel shows.
Well,
10-on-1s.
yeah. So, my niece just gave me a happy Father's Day thing. Awesome. So anyways, so I'm going to go do a 10-on-1 debate with Gary the numbers guy. Would you like to know? You know what? Let's just do this. Would you like to know what the topics are, Mick or Kyle?
Hell yeah.
Okay, here we go. Well, these are the topics that Sean Michael Kelly gave me, and you have to say the Michael in there because he makes him sound more like a serial killer. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Gary the numbers guy, 10-on-1, and I'm going to rattle. We got to look these guys up too real quickly. Okay, so I'm one of the 10. It's not me that's on the hot seat. It's actually Gary who is the one on the hot seat. I have to be one of the 10, right? And you know why? Because Michael Sartain said, fuck off. I'm actually Michael Sartain's understudy for this one. They couldn't get him, so they got me. Okay, so Gary the numbers guy versus 10. These are the topics. Here we go. Okay. There's only 3. Topic number 1. The elites use numerology to gain power and wealth. Well, we've already had that conversation because Mike has already pretty much debunked that with Gary himself about 2 years ago on Access Vegas, by the way, which is why Mike has no real interest in doing it again, which, of course, prompted Gary the numbers guy to drop that video, that old reel of him and Zerka goofing on Mike 4 years ago when Mike's girlfriend Kylie was getting kind of indignant with him on whatever podcast, right? Yeah. Which I didn't even realize happened until after the podcast. Of course, I showed that to Mike. I go, why are these guys coming at you? He goes, because I turned him down for that thing. And so I don't care. You could go, like, he really wanted Mike to come back, as I think he wanted a rematch because it was the one time that Gary took like just a stinging defeat, right? And I'm sure Gary's, I like Gary. Don't get me wrong. I like Gary. I think he's fun. I think he's entertaining, but I do know that it's all professional wrestling and kayfabe. Okay. If he's going to tell me that he can predict accurate sports scores and events, all I'm going to do is remind him of the Stanley Cup 2023, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha. That was a null result for numerology. Yep. Okay, so topic number 2. The 19th Amendment should be repealed.
Okay.
Why would that be a fucking topic? Well, maybe it's the 19th because it's a 1 and a 9. Oh, No, I don't know. I don't think that's it. But I'll tell you why it's on there here in just a second. And then AI will destroy the economy. These are some fucking ambiguous ass fucking topics.
Very broad.
Which economy? The economy of Japan? The economy of the United States? The economy of Europe? Which one's going to fall first?
Are we doing the full
we can talk about a lot of different economies, okay? But again, I think these are just like sort of general things.
Yeah.
And I think I'm there not for the numerology thing, but I think he wants me there for the repeal the 19th.
Okay.
I get the feeling that that's why Sean wanted me on the show. All right, now who's going to participate in this clusterfuck? Okay, I don't know who these people are, so I do not know a single name on this. I've looked up a couple of these, but here we go. Z to the Hill, ZEE to the Hill. To the Hill. Oh, I see it already came up. Look at that. Z Cohen Sanchez. Oh yeah, there it is. I think that's Z to the Hill TikTok.
Yeah, it's this girl.
Oh, that white girl. Yeah.
There you go. One of her.
Yeah. I think she's the liberal, like the super liberal. She probably hates the manosphere. I'm sure that's why I'm there. I have every reason to believe this is a fucking setup. So trust me, at least I know I'm walking into an ambush. I'm probably walking into an ambush here. Like Gary is just the sideshow Bob. They want me on the fucking show. So that's Z to the Hill. Next is Admiral Gibbs. He's the only one I actually want to talk to. I looked him up. I started following him on Twitter. I think he does. Oh, he does. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the dude right there.
This guy.
But Destiny versus Admiral Gibbs. Well, imagine that. Oh, good. Hey, he's a Destiny hater. Fuck yeah! Finally, I got somebody on my side. He also plays Warhammer 40,000 too.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up. So he's the guy I actually want to talk to. He seems like the coolest one of the bunch. Oh, good. Open panel on Trump and Israel. Well, that ought to be fucking enlightening. Sarah Weigman, Weigman. Sarah Weigman. Hold on. Here we go. Sarah Weigman will be the moderator. Yes. Okay. There you go. Sarah Weigman will be the moderator. I think she's a journalist.
Salary.
We can look at her salary. That's Serena Weigman. I guess she's probably a nobody. I don't know. No, she's got to be an influencer. She's certainly not a footballer. Does anybody know who Sarah Weigman is? A good song. Shut up. Is that it? Sarah Weigman? I get this. Yeah, give her Instagram. What's her Instagram look like?
No,
it's not private.
This is some personal.
No, that's somebody with the same name. Yeah. Who knew it was Sarah Beth Weigman? 81. Does she look like she's in Vegas? No, that one looks hot. All right, let's go on to Pedro Avila Jr. Avila. Pedro. Vote for Pedro. Who was Pedro? Pedro Avila. Vote for Pedro. Of course, that's his fucking Instagram.
Guessing it's this guy, creator of In Your 20s, official In Your 20s vlogs.
Yeah. Okay.
TJR.
Exposing Miami. What's that? TJ what?
TJR is a.
What is TJR?
He's a influencer. Nah, I wouldn't even say influencer. He's a course bro that does for like trading and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so this guy's he's a debunker. He's like tries to fuck with you. How to sell a $100,000 audience? Is that what it says?
Yeah. Residents.
Okay. Residents. Okay. So Pedro Avila, is he on Twitter?
Is 56.
In Your 20s podcast. Okay. I like that setup though. That was kind of cool. Okay, so that's dude. He didn't look too cool. He's all right. Be okay. All right. I got a good vibe from that guy. Okay, the next one is Austin Beck. Austin Beck. Baseball player? Can't be the baseball player. Is it Austin? For the real Austin Beck? For sure. Shit, man. Now I got to get Aubrey Huff. Aubrey Huff's a good friend of mine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I can't really. How fucking great! I gotta ask Sean Kelly if that's really that dude.
This one.
Maybe it's that guy. It's probably that guy. The nerdier dude.
No, this is still personal.
Coaching, lifetime neutral. I don't know why he would be on there. God, that's kind of a general name too, isn't it? Austin Wadebeck.
Yeah, but the followers are not gonna.
Yeah, 206 followers. Austin Beck podcast. Influencer. Yeah, click on that real quick.
Mute it real quick before we get a. Okay, took me straight to the. Yeah, I don't think it's this guy. This
not
is like
that
some
guy
traveling
either.
YouTube.
Yeah, travel YouTube. Okay. I don't know. Okay, let's go to the last one or last two. Zachary, Zachary, Pawlikowski, Pawlikwoski. Yeah, that guy. I don't know if he's an MD.
Critical care and medicine, internal. Okay.
He kind of seems kind of young. Yeah, I don't think he's an MD. Anybody who looks like an influencer is probably the dude you want to talk to. Pawlikowski. Trying to do our homework here. Influencer. Yeah, try that one. What's this? No? All right. Here, let me jump on these right quick while you're looking that up. Give Rollo what belongs to Rollo. Render unto Rollo that which is Rollo's. Render to God. Okay. That, and that. Thank you, Sam Bada, for being in the chat today. He's been our moderator. I don't know if that's the dude. Well, maybe that's the guy.
I mean, it could be this
that guy. Yeah.
And this acquisitions Klotz Group companies headquartered in Jacksonville. Okay, I can't see the rest of that.
Well, I don't know. He might be in from out of town. Who knows? He's young. It's a possibility it's that guy.
Might bring him in for real estate.
Maybe he's a ringer. Yeah. You scroll down. Maybe it might be the economy thing. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
It might be for the economy. All right, last one. Andrew Dunn, Dunn. Andrew Dunn, Dunn. Yeah, Las Vegas. That's probably him right there. Andrew Dunn. Is he an actor? Oh, there he is. That's probably him right there. That Instagram right there. Go back. Yeah, that's got to be him.
Yeah, that's him.
Dude, you only have 2.4 thousand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, you're looking at mine.
See if I can do it through this.
Oh, okay. What's it look like? Studied at University of Puget Sound. Fuck. And you're in Vegas?
Yeah. Shit.
Huh.
You click on his LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's probably the better one to go to. Kind of seems like it's okay. No worries. Well, those are the guys I'm going after. Or those are supposed to be there's actually only 8. I think I'm 9. Maybe he'll have added a 10. The only people I'm really the guy I want to talk to actually, I don't care about anybody else, but I kind of want to talk to Admiral Gibbs because I want to go see what armies he plays. Admiral Gibbs, call me, man. Let's hang. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. As I said, Kyle and I are toying with the idea, probably put this together. We're going to do a call-in show. I think we're going to have to start on Rumble.
Okay.
And then because they have the easiest call-in format.
Yeah.
And then so if you want to call the show, you just call in on your phone and say, Rollo. And should we make rules? Like keep it brief. It's got to be just get down to the point. I mean, I'm flattered you're a first-time caller, you're a long-time listener. Okay. But get to the point real quick. Tell us what because I want to be able to work through at least 4 or 5 of these per show.
Yeah.
Just so I can see how it works out for people. Maybe we'll just do it exclusively on Rumble to start, and then we'll figure out some way to go to all platforms at that point. But we got to do it through Rumble. We got to stream from Rumble Studios to do it. That's the problem. Which means I don't know how the super chats are going. Well, I guess they'll work it the same way. It's just you're just doing it on Rumble. So, anyways, so look for that. I think maybe we'll try it for Thursday. Thursday we'll do the call-in show because I got so much to do. Oh, okay. So tomorrow, Sean Michael Kelly's show, Digital Social Hour. It's probably going to be recorded, but I will demand that it is not. I'll tell you what I'll do is maybe I'll live stream it on Twitter through my phone and see how it goes. I'm sure he'll let me do that. So I'll live stream it through Twitter on my phone. Just so everybody, because I know what will happen. There'll be he's like, I love Sean, but I know what he's doing. He's just farming it for clips. I would do the same thing. So I get it. I don't know quite honestly, I don't know what I'm going to say on this show, but I'll just go do it anyways. I think I'm there because he wants me to fight with one of the liberal chicks on the show, especially repeal the 19th. So I think they're going to be surprised when I say, yeah, I don't think we should repeal the 19th because I think it's a moot point and it's stupid. It's a dumb concept to begin with because no one's going to repeal the 19th. So
we can't just mulligan.
Can we just fucking move on? Well, do you believe that women should have the right to vote? No, I don't actually. I don't think we should repeal the 19th, but I don't think that women should have the right to vote because I don't think most men should have the right to vote either. So I think we need to move. If you want to ask me what my socio-political position is on like representative government, I'm going to tell you that I think it should be qualified. You should have skin in the game. It should be like Starship Troopers. Like you serve in the military, you automatically get citizenship. In fact, I don't even think women should be able to have babies unless they have some sort of civil service, just like Starship Troopers. Heinlein is my idea. Whatever that political idea, that's me. You're Robert Heinlein, that's my political ideology right there. And that's what I will go with tomorrow. Then at 6 or 7, about 7 o'clock, if you happen to be in Las Vegas, if you're watching, if you pay attention, you follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram because you'll get so much more fucking content there. And you'll also get pictures and videos and you'll know what I'm doing around Vegas and doing shit. I actually do shit. I know Mike is actually the social butterfly, but Rolo does a few things. One of those things is I'm going to Bel Air tomorrow. It'll be after the show, probably around 7 o'clock. It is going to be a quote unquote gold party. And they do this like every probably month, I think, at Bel Air. If you're into yoga, and I'm not into yoga, I don't jive with that shit. Okay. But if you are and you're a chick, I understand why guys remember they said, hey, what can I do to get with a chick? Like, what hobby should I have? I bet yoga. Now. I bet yoga is probably an A-list hobby, a B-list hobby, not an A-list, certainly not F, right? Because you're in touch with your third eye vision. Yeah. But it's a yoga thing. It's an all-day thing. I'm not going to all day, obviously. But once you get to 6 or 7 o'clock, then it's a party, right? Mm-hmm. And the theme is gold because it's summer solstice tomorrow. The longest day of the year is tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you something. Here, children. This is Daddy Rolo telling you something. Okay. So in Nevada, particularly in Las Vegas, tomorrow we will have 14 and a half hours of daylight. Okay. In Washington and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, like right up on the border there, they're going to have 15 and a half hours of sunlight. And if you go all the way to Alaska, Fairbanks, you get 24 hours of solid sunlight tomorrow, and probably more than that later on, right? Okay. You know why we only get 14 and a half and they get 24 hours? Because the world is fucking round and not flat, you fucking idiots.
And spinning.
That's why. The world is not flat. It is round like your head. I'm working up for Gary tomorrow. But anyway, so I'm going to be at Bel Air tomorrow with my wife, by the way, who has a special gold outfit, which is I'm going to probably take some pictures of because I think it looks fucking hot on her. And then Jake Cope's going to be with me, some of the guys from the band. And I know we've got some Access Vegas girls that are coming along too, just to hang out. This is just a hangout. We're not doing anything special. We're not performing or anything. But if you want to come hang out, you can get tickets. I think the tickets are like $36. It's not too bad for Vegas. But you can come hang out. I think it's like 6 to 10 and special drinks. You go, it's a pool party. There's food there. Mm-hmm. There's the lounge area, there's Bel Air, then there's the lounge area, and then there's the pool area. And for whatever reason, Bel Air is turning into the fucking spot right now. So, and I'm glad because it's 5 minutes away from Rhodes Ranch where I live. So if you want to come hang out with me tomorrow, I'll certainly be there by 7 o'clock. So we'll see you there if you want to, and you happen to be in Las Vegas. Other than that, I will be interviewed by Monica. I get to be interviewed finally by Monica Almaguer from Marriage with Monica. She has been on with Mike Sartain, Rich Cooper has been on her show, like remote, but I'll be live in studio with her at Origin, just the two of us, kind of like what I did with Puma Swede. And so she's going to interview me. That'll be on Wednesday. That'll be a recorded show, but I'll let you know when that drops. And then Thursday, you and I are going to do the call-in show. So that's what you have to look for. All this great rational male shit that you get to tell your friends about. But more than anything, happy Father's Day to all the dads, because you are an underappreciated, underserved class of human being. Thank you for doing what you do. I was going to say before we ended up here that men in general are the sacrificial sex. And there's no more sacrifice than being a dad, being a father, because that's what it really comes down to. Would you take a bullet for your dad, for your son or your daughter? Of course you would. So there's more to it than being the dad. And I was going to say that don't allow anyone else to define what a high effort dad is or a low effort dad is. And certainly don't let the female correct narrative tell you what that is. You get to decide that. You get to decide what your purpose is, what your process is, and what your identity is going to be. And thank God for good dads who are actually involved and take care of their kids and do what the fuck they do, right? And let me explain to you something. There are a lot more good dads than there are fuck up dads. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Hello there, children. How's it going?
Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
But I was just a kid when we met and went to bed.
Would you like to know more?
What do you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules now in the game. I've got some new tools. Please do the same. Time came by when over like a matchbox stereo. Time to get my thoughts now let go. Bound to keep me up all night. But maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know. Maybe we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Then I could have the best in my life. Now we're fucking in the bathroom, tearing up every wall while I got your hair. Why you screaming my name?
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Ugh.
She was swinging in the bedroom, whole time stopping and stubbing with her head like she's Claudia Kelly.
Well, I'm a whore.
Want me? Ride me up and down like a pony, turning up my song, getting messy, working up and down on your body. Turning up my song on your body. Baby, we'll get down to it all night. But maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know. And maybe we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again.
Tell these bitches to go to hell. This City Podcast has been a production of the Rational Male. All rights reserved. Registered trademark 2026. Don't steal my dad's stuff.
FBI, open up!
Tell that bitch to be cool.
And maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. Goddamn.
We say to give a woman vote is like to let a monkey fly a plane. Very dangerous.